Okay. We should have sound now. Let's see. But yeah, that's like there were artists there that were actually putting their foot out there. Artists there that were actually see yeah we're good. Putting their foot out there. Artists there that and doing the good work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. Like essentially, like for me at least, like I feel like I don't know, like there's gonna take a lot of new culture for everybody to kind of like get the, you know what I'm saying, get a feel of whatever thing, the new way to push your music or the new way to push like, cause it's not gonna cut it with just one person. It's gotta be a group of people that's kind of making waves.
That's what was crazy about it. I wasn't even there, but I've heard so much about it. Like that time,
there was
like
so
like that 2018. Actually, probably before it was like 2019, 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, like that's when Akari was there. Akari was. Well,
I don't know Akari.
Well, he's Alec Akari.
The guy I just met.
Yeah.
Yeah, your roommate. Oh,
yeah. He goes by Akari Sage.
Oh, got you.
But back then he was Alec B. And
got you.
He was going by like they would do, our homegirl Nyala would throw these events that they were, I forget what the name of them would be. But it was at USC, and that's where I kind of like got to know everybody. Like Umi would perform there, the homie Med performed there.
Yeah, I know Med.
You know Med.
Yeah,
so like all of them were like kind of tapped in with that scene, and that's what kind of propelled it to get. That was what the lore that you're hearing about. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. A lot of these schools that have a culture of music and a culture of push, because Howard is the same way. People used to say like, no, this is like, especially their music program was putting people on and putting people in position.
I've never heard anything about the Howard music program.
It's serious.
I think I do. There's actually a girl I think that went there, not for music, from the Muse Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a scene.
B
like,
Mace.
B Mace. Why does that name sound familiar?
She went to Howard. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if she went for music, but.
Okay. So look, we just gonna go straight into
the
it
mic.
right away. Gang, who we got in the chat, bro? I see 2 people in here so far. I'm trying to see the chat. You know what I'm saying? Show yourselves.
I don't know if mine's on.
Say what?
I don't know if this is on.
Let's see. Check. Let's see.
Check. Oh,
you're good.
Check.
You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm gonna put this, minimize this, cause we got the screen. Cool. You can see the chat from here.
Oh, fine.
Let me see. Let me get rid of some. I'm trying to think. Is there anything? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
We got a cloudy day, so we gonna put a little bit extra.
Yeah, no, it's the vibe though.
All right, gang. Big Mirror in the morning. Look, man, we got a special guest for you guys today, man. I just I really wanted to like let you guys know how much I mess with you guys, chat, because literally like we met last weekend, last Saturday, at a function. Can we introduce you to the chat? I'll let you introduce yourself to the chat.
Yeah, of course.
What you go by and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Sean. I'm from the Bay originally, but do stuff around LA. I went to UCLA. Worked at a couple different record labels over the past couple years.
Oh yeah.
Now I kind of do my own thing. I throw shows, I host shows. That's how we met.
Yes.
Yeah, we just vibed out. So I'm glad to be here, man.
He's playing a real light for you guys. Yeah. He has some serious experience, you know what I'm saying, in the music industry. And I thought as soon as we met, I was like, this would be a perfect opportunity to inform you guys on how the industry works, because I feel like there's a misconception for real. Like, a lot of people just expect things to happen for them because they're good at making music, but there is like a lineage and a line of detail that you have to do and go through before you become the big artist that you see, as every artist sees themselves as in their head. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys have a whole like run through, and I really want you to kind of like break down what you guys, what to expect from a label, or what to expect from a contract, what to expect from, the next step after you get discovered. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to get into that right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a deep.
It's so deep.
That's very deep. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some time to ponder on it.
Cool.
But how I usually do the stream, so I take a selfie to kind of promote the stream.
Okay. Cool.
On our IG, so we'll both take one on our pages.
But
just let people know that we're streaming right now. We're live and they should tap in.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I clip the stream down to short form content. So that
you're doing it right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
this guy.
Look, I'm trying to get signed. Look, I'm trying to get signed.
He doesn't need to talk to me. He got it. He got it.
Real talk. So
yeah.
What I'm gonna do with all these selfies too is everybody who's came on and been a guest on the stream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put together like a nice collage of everyone's picture on a whole thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, at the end of the year we'll do like a good wrap up of the stream. You know what I'm
saying?
It's gonna be real
that's
cool.
That's
fine. So yeah, we can get into the picture right now.
I bet.
I know I'm kind of chaotic, you guys. I literally just got off work, and it's crazy. You got off work too?
Yeah, bro. I'm still working right now. Don't tell my job.
We keeping it on the hush. You know what I'm saying? Let me find my phone real quick, and we'll be right back, chat. But in the meantime, I want you guys to give him a follow. So I'm gonna keep his IG up here, okay?
Yeah, it's Sean. I go by Shako Sean. Yeah, that's what they call me.
Yeah. Tell him Shako Sean.
Yeah.
About your day, actually, what you was on.
Bro, damn. Nah, it was pretty light. I got this job. I do like influencer marketing. I work with influencers. So it's cool. We work on like music campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were doing one today?
Yeah. I don't know if I don't think I could say it because technically I'm under NDA.
Okay,
but I like. Yeah. There's technically that is funny.
That's why you have to have chat. You got to have yourself some roommates who. Oh, never mind. I found it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's right there.
If it was a snake, it would have bit me in the face.
Damn.
All right, you guys. We're gonna take our selfie, and I'm gonna get you guys. Actually, I'm gonna play some unreleased for the chat since.
Bro, I was just listening to "Pray for Us" on the way over here.
Are you serious, bro? Like,
I hadn't heard much of your catalog, bro. So I was like. I had to tap in.
It's crazy. So "Pray for Us" is produced by RJ, like the I Breathe Music All Day.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, got it. I see the correlation actually.
Yeah, that's my funny. Bro. Like we're literally we have a whole project coming out.
You know what I'm saying? I see the Untitled right here.
I had to keep it discreet. That's why I just switched the screen up. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not seeing
it. Get real. These are all albums that you're seeing right now.
Wow.
Every one of these is an album.
Damn.
And some of these are albums inside of albums. Like these
that's
are like
fire.
I have a whole nother alias I go by.
Okay, got it.
I make music like that. That's a record that I think Ayana probably had played for you before.
Maybe,
yeah.
You know I haven't heard much of her records either. Yeah, I love Flowers. But
most of those are produced by Kari.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, got you.
You know
what
I'm saying? Like we like the backbone of this shit.
He lives in New York though, right? Am I?
Who? No, Kari's
no. The guy.
I Breathe Music. No, he's actually out of Memphis, but everybody he's like kind of like curating the scene for. Yeah. They all live in New York, and I don't. That's the thing that also I was saying too. I had a guest on Monday, and we were just getting into like why isn't the scene in LA like it is in New York. And there's a clear underground scene that's happening in New York right now. Like you mentioned Nora's World, who's like we're a big fan of her on our stream, and Stephanie.
I know Stephanie.
She's like all of them out there.
They're like clicked up. That's the thing. It's like we don't really click up like that anymore.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
It's the worst shit ever. But
yeah.
Like, let me play some unreleased as we get our selfie in, you guys, and we're gonna get into the conversation for real.
Bye.
I'll play you something that's about to come out on our project.
Okay, cool.
You guys gonna get some unreleased too, cause did I make this one on stream? I wonder if I did. I probably did. I make a lot of records on stream, so
that's fine.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna play this one. I'll play you this one. This is something me and Kari got. This is something talking about some unreleased.
Heard you.
We made this the day we came to your show. Actually,
really? That's
the same day.
That's crazy.
Like, bruh. Let's see. Tripping, you guys. Wow. I think we made this on stream too.
Woke up smacked, but we still got fried. I say my blessings before I walk outside. This nigga's lost outside. I can't remember when, but I been lost my mind. I ain't lose my pride. I'm the type to make you take your shoes off before you walk inside. You must have lost your mind. I'm whooping feet. Go get the branch off the tree so I can whoop your behind. Do it out of love. Can't let you grow up to be a fuck up. We got plans from the man above. Can't live life with your shoulder shrug. 13 years old, I got a hold of drugs. She like hold a slug. I got this here from my older cuz. Tell the kids say no to drugs. They blunts can't put down the cup. I'm more high standing up. You talk like you kinda drunk. This life shit wild as fuck. We hit licks, pull the wildest stunts. Pass the flip, you be yapping, bruh. On hots, you can't handle us. When you see me bring the cameras. When you see me give me hands and hugs. The boy need a lot of love. The boy got a lot of Sun beating off the asphalt. Fixing up the fixie in the driveway. Feel like everything gon' be okay. Pops and sis beefing, she tryna relocate. I disassociated. Turn the headphones up and drift away. Turn a bedroom to a studio, not a movie road, it's a play. $1 million baby, all I had was faith. And the top of trace, money can't trade, dummies can't hang. You doing too much cause you really a lame. Get out the way. The type of reputation that precedes when I take the stage. 17 trying to get past second base. It was a phase. Soon I'd be gripping on the waist, but I put it second place. They told me money, power, respect was the only order. Nothing felt better than putting 3 G's on a money order and still living below my means. Real niggas know what I mean. I could put 7.5 on a Cartier and still live below my means. Rich niggas know what I mean. Came to the show just to show face, cause I know they two-faced, but it's okay.
Artist name.
Y'all give it up for my big brother.
Name. And it was given to me because I went to, I think Chad already knows, but like I went to Performing Arts High School, and yeah, like while I was there, I kind of like got the feel. I was in a music production class, right? And in the classroom, there was a guy of mine, Nick Brown. And we had this class. He was like, bro, like I needed a rap name. Like at first it was just James. You know what I'm saying? Like, and had I known then, like to just stick with that then, like it would have just stayed James. Because if niggas like Mike was out back then, like it would have been okay to just be James, bro. Like Mike kind of like set the standard on like name changes, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's interesting. Like, so the name came to me when I was in class. And I'm trying to think. Trying to think. Oh yeah, so no, he gave it to me while we were in class. We were sitting next to each other, and he was like, so what's your first name? So obviously James. He's like, what's my last name? My last name is Key, Key. Yeah. He's like, well, what's your middle name? I was like, it's Darren. It was like James Darren Key. I was like, that cannot be my name. And so he was like, well, what's your full name? I said, James Darren Key III. He said, you know, James III would be a fire rap name. I sat on it for 3 months, bro. I feel you, bro. Sat on it. And I'm like a junior in high school. And I'm just like, I came back to him after 3 months. I said, you know what? That name you came, he didn't even remember for real. But I was like, that name you said we was in class.
Bro, it's the ones that like stick in your head, bro. I'm telling you.
That's the shit, bro. Like,
it's
that's
the ones
the
that
one
stick in your head.
It made it go up for real. So like,
I've
been carrying that name since 2016.
That's beautiful.
So.
Is that how long you've been making music, or since before then?
Well, yes. Around that time actually technically 2015. So 2015, 16, 17. So I've been making music since 2015. But it didn't get serious until 2017. For me.
Okay, gotcha.
It didn't start like I was in a group when I got to college, and I was making all my music in a group. So I can't really technically say that I was making music individually. I was just doing it collectively. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my part.
Yeah.
So when that happened, yeah, it was cool. Like I got my first experience making music, but then the thirst for like wanting to have songs and wanting to build a catalog came to me, bro. And I like went head down. Like as you can see in my Untitled, like bruh, like I create. Like that's my
for sure. Yeah, you got catalog. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. And it, like literally like it started off with production. Like that's what I went.
Got you.
Yeah, bro. Like I was producing for everybody. Like even the people that was at your event. I've produced for almost everybody there.
Really?
That's done something. Like I got some stuff with Amina. I got some stuff with Ayana. I got some stuff with. I'm about to have some stuff with Yoshi. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yoshi is crazy,
she's so
bro.
good,
I had
bro.
never heard of her before, seen her, bro. That was crazy.
She's so tapped into like I don't even want to put her biz out there like that on stream, but just know that she's super tapped in, and I've been following her since like 2017.
Yeah, because she was on the Rap Game, right?
Yeah, she was. She was. She's on the Rap Game, but even before then, like she was just known around the city for just rapping. I think I ran into her at one of these events. She was cool with my homie True, and so I've seen her at one of True's events or something like that. And like I had been tapped in with her, so seeing her at your show was my first time actually seeing her in person in years.
That's crazy.
And it was good to know that she still had like kind of like even developed what she was doing then even more now. Like she
it
seems
felt
way
very
more
polished. Like it was very like you could tell she's performed hella times. Like you could just tell she's
like,
one
of the ones, bro.
That shit.
That's what it takes to be great though. Like you know what I'm saying? That's what it takes though. Like honestly, really. It takes a lot of like I don't know, like we were talking about a little bit before we started the stream up. Like, I honestly feel like a lot of people are in the dark when it comes to getting discovered. A lot of people have visions for themselves and see themselves as like a huge entity, but don't know how to implement the strategies. And I think that's what labels are looking for now more than anything. Like when you get signed, or if you're in the midst of even getting discovered, they know that you have some sort of something going on.
Yeah, you know I think it's like a clear aesthetic. Like I think it's like I gotta look at you and know that you know who you are.
Exactly.
Because if I look at you and I'm like, oh, they're still figuring it out, or like, oh, like if that was just a little bit better. It's like when I'm critiquing you and not thinking about like what you are, like that's making me interested, where I'm like, oh, that person does that so well, when I'm just like, oh, like it's cool, but you know I could see it has a lot of growth. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Nah, it's interesting. I mean, I wasn't even an A&R at any of the labels, but I knew all the A&Rs really well. Yeah. And I talked to them like constantly, bros.
And that's the mindset. Like that's the most important thing too. Even like being in those rooms and being in the conversations with them and actually getting like their mental headspace on the decisions you make. I'm sure you've asked like 1,000 questions on like.
Yeah, bro. That's like, dude, I'm telling you, like I got really lucky because I had a mentor that taught me a lot too when I came in, because I started at Sony.
Okay.
So yeah, I was originally in the music program at UCLA.
Okay.
Which is like they have a school of music basically, but I was like studying music business, more kind of same thing to Thornton. It's like their version of it. And I had a professor because I was like looking for a job, and she was like, "Oh, we got something at Sony. It's like a temp thing," and it was in Sync actually, which like not a lot of people know a lot about, but Sync is basically like music for TV, film, commercials, video games, ads. Like
I don't know too much about Sync. Yeah, like
it's a very it's like kind of separate from the music industry, where it's like at a label, all the artists could flop, like they could all do terribly, but you could have one song that like syncs and saves that artist's career. You know what I mean? Like like bro, think about like all the songs that we found like through like other shows like later, like Running Up That Hill, for example, like that revived, like that broke a song 30 years later.
You know what song I found out on a song credit, or what group I found out about from a song credit?
Yeah,
it was Paramore.
Fire. What's your favorite? Is that your favorite like sync ever? Your favorite soundtrack from a movie?
Might be what made me a fan of that group. Like even
do you remember
not
what
even
it was
just
from?
the group. It was from Twilight.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I think it's a lot of people. Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Literally, bro, heard that song when I was in middle school.
Yeah,
and found out about a whole new genre of rock.
It used to be a big deal. I think now like less. There's more stream shows, but like people are watching different things. So some people are watching Stranger Things, some people are watching Love Island, some people are watching like different shows. So we don't have like back in the day when it was like everyone would watch like Full House or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
gather around the TV to watch
or Twilight, for example, where it's like you're anticipating that next movie all year. So the songs in that movie are like a big deal.
Yeah, and it sticks to you for some reason. Like like especially
you remember them. I don't know what it is.
Vividly. I remember the emotion I got when I heard the record on the. I would wait because how even first found out about that song was
Yeah.
I was watching Twilight on. Do you remember when you had cable and it was like those channels that used to just run movies?
Bro,
it was
yeah, like FX,
Yes.
like fuck. Oh my god.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't FX though. It was like the channel that if you had like it was like in
Yeah.
the hundreds. Like it would be like
Oh.
Stars, like close to Stars or something like that.
Yeah.
They would run like 24-hour movies and
Yeah.
stuff. So I was watching it and I remember like we finally got the rewind button chat. Like we had the rewind button on our cable and I rewinded the whole thing back and then I even Googled what the whole soundtrack was for the
Yeah.
album.
That's fire.
For that movie, and then I found Paramore and I found the record, and
That's why.
I dived. Not only did I dive into them, but that's what kind of led me to like finding out about grunge rock.
Bro,
and
it's a big deal. It's like one of the
literally,
most
like-
lucrative parts of the industry because you have to clear the master recording, like the record side, then you have to clear the publishing.
The syncing, right?
Yeah, so it's like
So-
the sync is both. And you know what's funny is you get matched. So like what
What?
happens is so basically like a production company or a movie studio or a TV studio will be like, we want to use this record. We have 10,000 per side.
Okay.
And what that means is per like the music. So like think about it like the CD, like the actual music itself, what is recorded onto that CD, and then the lyrics and the composition. So every lyric that you wrote has to be cleared separately. So you ever seen like sheet music?
Yeah.
Like that's like publishing composition
my
credits. So they have to clear that and then they have to clear the master. So they match it. So it's the highest point where it's like they clear. So if you have a publishing company and the production company that's trying to sync your song offers you 10 bands, the master side, they also have to pay you, aka or your label,
You
10
can get
grand.
10 bands off.
Oh my god, bro! I've seen hundreds of
Yo.
thousands of dollars. I mean, bro, it depends. It's like levels to it. So it kind of starts in like, I forget what they call it, but it's like low rent TV where it's like reality shows. So it's
Okay.
like those are paying like anywhere from like 500, 800 per side. It's pretty low. Then you get up to like streaming TV where it's like, you know, your favorite show on Netflix, on Hulu. That's like 5-10 grand. Also depends on the type of artist you are. Then it gets up to like commercial, bro. You get your song in a commercial or a brand ad, it's like doubles,
set.
triples. Yeah, you can get like 50 grand per side. Then there's movies. So you get because it's all based on the budget. So it's like movie budgets, like F1 for example, has like a $300 million budget. So think about like they're probably using 10 to 15% of that on just the music alone, just clearing the music alone. So that's like what, like less than 30 mil, but they're only going to use like 20 songs.
You could become
probably.
a millionaire off sync.
People do. I think there's a lot of people who just make sync music, and you ever listen to like music and you're like, damn, this would feel really good in the elevator, or like this would feel really good. There's people who do that where they're like, this is meant for a commercial. Like there's people whose full-time jobs they're making like sounds and shit and like stuff for like Acura.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's super interesting. Oh, and I was gonna say, so movies and then trailers.
Trailers?
Actually, movie trailers.
Oh, so sync it for the
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
so,
okay.
so movie trailers are the highest deal that I've ever seen.
Really?
It was
What's the craziest number you've seen?
okay. So the craziest number I've ever seen was for Fuji's Ready or Not, $300,000 per side,
Oh my god.
and it was for the Creed. The last Creed, yeah, it was the last
Yo.
Creed movie trailer. That was the craziest
Okay.
thing I've ever seen.
Yo, I mean,
Also, Missy was a crazy one.
Missy?
Yeah, Missy Elliott for a movie trailer. It was a crazy one.
Well, it makes sense though because the trailer is gonna get ran the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, so if you guys don't know, I don't know if you know or not, but Akari works in advertisement.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they team up with Sony all the time on
Yeah.
stuff that goes on. So when he tells me these budget numbers and runs these numbers, it always strikes me like, dang, like there's so much money that's just put up for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's even harder too because everything has to be documented the right way on you guys' end. I'm just thinking about like the hard work that you guys are doing to make these artists look good and stuff a lot of the time.
Most of it's like sample clearance. What I did when I was at both like Sony and Atlantic.
What's
was
the
like,
process of even getting a sample clear?
It's bro.
Like,
It's
what?
actually it's interesting because at every label they have this like team called A&R admin, and basically their job is to coordinate with the producers and the managers about like, okay, who wrote on this record. So like you'll have obviously like we all know like a Bruno Mars song, there can be 15 writers.
Yes.
And so their manager or the producer or the engineer, the like A&R admin's job is to get in writing and like legaled out like how much everyone is splitting the publishing, that kind of
Okay.
thing. So I would talk to them every day. And then a lot of times, bro, they'd be like, there's a sample, but we don't know what it is. And I'd be like, what do you mean you don't know what it is? Like, what, they're just like, because samples come, like, samples can come from anywhere.
I'm probably one of those dudes that'll tell you, I don't know where this is.
So, bro, I had to, like, the craziest one, oh my God, the craziest one was Lovin' On Me. I don't know if you know the Jack Harlow. So, bro, I actually helped clear the sample for a sync. Oh my God. I'm forgetting, it was last year. I'm forgetting what it was for, but that sampled, like, this really obscure, like, Detroit R&B singer. I'm forgetting his name, but if you look it up, you can find it. But like, we
can find it.
Yeah, but it never came out on streaming. So like, I need to see the publishing credits. I used to go on Genius a lot.
Okay, that's the good place to go actually, because they really are detailed. I'll let you type in.
Let's see. I'm trying.
Let's see.
I don't got no whips and shit. So it's this guy Cadillac Dale, and you've never heard of Cadillac Dale, but you can like. We can do whatever. I don't even know where the sample part is, but. I am uninhibited when it comes to loving you. Where it is. No, I don't like no whips and chains. You can't tie me down. So the song came out, and it wasn't. I'm just gonna pause it. My bad. So the song came out and the publishing wasn't cleared yet. So like they hadn't decided.
That doesn't deserve a clip.
I mean, it's a fire song. Shout out to, I think it's OZ who made that beat, but they needed it for like a show or a commercial, and this originally wasn't on YouTube. Damn. It wasn't on Spotify. It wasn't on Apple. It wasn't out, period.
Anywhere.
The only place I could find it, it was on a CD on eBay.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, because, bro, I used to have to time out samples. So I used to have to time out how much of it they used. And then I would be like, okay,
shit.
They use, like, the hook has, like, 25% of the record. And, like, he's singing over it. So, like, let's offer the sample 30% of what we get from the
So
sync.
You guys are going by the second.
Yeah, literally, I used to have to time things out with my phone, and I'd be like, okay, so the sample appears in the chorus and in the verse or whatever. And so with him, I couldn't hear it because I could only hear. I couldn't find the sample to listen to it, so I found it on like eBay, and I was about to buy the CD because we had this like really urgent sync or whatever that was like, if it doesn't clear tonight, then we can't use it, so we lose out on like $50,000 or whatever it was. So I found it on fucking SoundCloud, and I think that's where the producer got it from. But I was just like, bro, that's so crazy. Like, this random ass dude, like, sometimes it's like, for example, like, when you clear records, you have to, like, email them and be like, hey, this is how much they're offering, this, and this. Some people manage themselves. So, like, Missy Elliott will, like, her mom will manage her. You'll be emailing her mom. Like, sometimes, like, bro, Lauryn Hill manages herself. You have to call her Miss Hill. So you'll, like, email Lauryn. I never did it, but, like, I
actually heard stories of that before.
Yeah, so the people would email her, like, hey, Miss Hill, like, we need to clear, like, ready or not or whatever.
Oh, my. So, I bet she's giving people such a hard time sometimes when this, like, comes to her.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it's, like, it can be a lot of desk work. That's, like, why I didn't love it, per se, but, like, it was interesting because I learned a lot about the business side and the contract. That was my title, was like contracts and sync and like and I was just negotiating deals all day. So I'd be like, well, the sample owner wants 50%, but like because they only use it in the chorus,
or if they only use a
exactly
amount,
you know so it's like and the bigger the record, the more they wanted,
of course. So
that stopped a lot of records from like even coming out. Like that's the thing that people don't realize. It's like your favorite artists, like Uzi leaks or whatever. Sometimes like those songs wouldn't come out, or Playboi Carti leaks because there's samples on them and they can't clear them, and they know they're gonna make so much money from the sync, so they're like, well, I'm not saying yes until I got 30% of that record.
Okay. So, I mean, if I'm a person in position, especially if someone wants to use my stuff and I know they're about to make a bank off of it, I would at least want something.
Yeah, you know there's a fine line between what's fair, and then there's a line where I've seen people like get greedy, but
I mean,
I think that's the label system in general, is you have a lot of people who are like really invested and really passionate about things, where they're like, I need this record to come out. And there's people who like, well, like if I don't get my 5 points on Lizzo, you know, or like I don't get my 5 points on Bruno Mars, like we're gonna make the album a year late or whatever. Like
that sucks, and I'm sure like this is what probably slows down.
It's albums. All of it, it's a lot of it, bro. It's like a lot of business.
Imagine
stuff.
What Kanye goes through,
bro. And think about all the artists who have like 20 people on their records and shit, and like like I don't know, man. I mean, it's crazy.
Is there a standard for like, all right, so I know that they like any job, for example, like has like their examples of things not to do, and or situations that have caused a lot of issues. And the one I could think about specifically when it comes to like sample clearance and stuff like that is the Blurred Lines track with
like how they like inspired by, but like
it's the same. All right, so that was a weird case because I've heard about the case because it's not directly sampling Marvin Gaye. Like it feels like the estate was upset because they said that record Blurred Lines felt like the Marvin Gaye.
So do you know
record.
what an interpolation is?
No, can you inform me in the chat?
Okay, so it's interesting because there's a difference between a sample and an interpolation. So a sample is you're literally pulling, so like this with Jack Harlow, like you're literally pulling the record, putting it into just inserting it into your record.
Right.
And interpolation, a lot of what Kanye does is like, or especially like on like Common's first album, like B and like all those songs, like they interpolated things. So I think there was a what's that one song that has that Lauryn Hill that Kanye song? I'm mixing them up. With Lauryn Hill. What is that one
I'm
song?
giving it up. All Falls Down.
All Falls Down. So that is not Lauryn Hill. That's a person who came in and sang the exact same part who sounds like Lauryn Hill. So that is an interpolation. And what happens is you don't have to clear that with the owner. Whoa. You don't have to clear that with the owner. You just have to give them a percentage of your publishing, which is just because they're just getting the songwriter credit. You're not pulling from their record.
Right.
So you can get around. So what a lot of people, especially people who have money, a lot of what they'll do is if they sample something, they'll take like a couple months or weeks to like have somebody come in and replay it.
Okay.
Like Robert Glasper, for example, did that a lot with Kanye for like all those songs. All he would like replay stuff because Kanye would sample a lot. So
I didn't even know Robert Glasper was working with Ye. Like
he has a show on Apple Music where he talks a lot about like the jams he would come in and replay because that's like what there's people who make money doing that. Just like replaying. Sense, if you're that good at playing piano and you could play anything, that's a good shout.
You're a studio what is it, musician?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, bro, we sampled like Missy Elliott. We don't want to pay $50,000 or give them 80% of this. Like, you remember how Juice WRLD was with that one sample where it was like I think it was Sting.
Yes.
He lost like 80% of that record. Yeah,
that hurts,
Sting and like he did pull, but that was definitely one of the crazier ones I've heard of. But he could have just had somebody come in and replay it, and then they just have to give them. And,
he doesn't really take the loss like that. The label does.
Yeah,
the label's taking the bigger.
The label makes more money before you make anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you have to recoup. So it's like if they gave you $100,000 deal until you make $100,000, you're not seeing anything.
Interesting.
They literally have to make their money, and sometimes there's options and all these kinds of things where it's like you could, and then they also like you may not make money on like your touring or your merch or like, it's crazy. I haven't read through a lot of people's deals, but I've just kind of heard secondhand about things that have like stuck out to me.
Okay.
But
so when you were this is all the work you were doing when you were at Sony.
Yeah, so Sony, and then I kind of like I had a temp job that I fumbled so bad, bro. It was crazy. And then that was one of the only times I got fired in my life. Actually, I was fired from Sony more or less.
We're talking about for a homie who just hopped in the chat, what's going on, Brody? Actually, let me give you some hand claps.
Oh my God. Shout out 700.
We're talking about labels. We're talking about
just like my label journey. Yeah, because I've worked for 2 out of the 3 majors.
Yes,
like the Infinity Stones.
The Infinity Stones of music. Hold on, we gotta get the explosion for that one. Hold on, we need an explosion.
That's crazy. I don't know a lot. I mean, I know a couple people who've gone back and forth, and people get plucked out of it. Like they'll be at Universal for a couple years, and then go to Sony. But that's how it's
supposed to go. Like any job, for it's supposed to go. You're not supposed to stay there for the whole
You'd be
time.
surprised, bro.
I know
You'd be surprised, bro.
But 3 years, 5 years, you're supposed to move and take what you know.
Yeah,
to the next thing.
They call it label hopping. So like how I started at Sony, I ended up at Atlantic, which is under Warner. So there's Warner, there's Sony, and then there's Universal.
Okay. And so isn't everything under Universal though? Kind of. Like UMG, the UMG.
So the thing I'll say to that, right, is Lucian Grange's son.
Oh my goodness.
Elliot is So that was crazy. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. So he actually became my boss while I was there.
Lucian's son was
Elliot,
your boss.
and he's the head of Atlantic. And now it's like Atlantic Music Group, which includes 300. 300's like Thug, Gunna, Meg Thee Stallion, Pink Panthers. 10K is like Amine,
right. Oh no, is that another 10K?
10K is a different label. Yeah, Amine. They have Sailor.
Sailor Moon. Okay, or
No,
not Sailor Moon, but like
Sailor, like the cut up Sailor.
the what's her name? What's the song she has? The viral song.
She has a Requiem to a Dream. Or
Yes, my Requiem.
Pookie's
Pookie.
Requiem. Yeah.
Hey Pookie, hey Pookie, that's the one.
I love her music. Is so fire.
Jet,
she was
are-
just here last night, actually.
She was here.
Yeah,
Sailor
yeah.
was
She
here?
played last night, I think. Yeah.
Oh, we missed that
I
chat.
know, that
What
would
the
have been
heck?
fire. I was wishing I could have gone to that show.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to my homie Jet. Now Jet is our moderator for our chat.
Subject.
You know what I'm saying? Jet in the building. I want you to give a big shout out to Jet
Yeah.
because he's the one that kind of keeps our chat under control.
Okay, cool.
He can ban people. He can do the whole thing. But
damn.
Jet.
You getting people banned in your chat like that?
Oh yeah, Jet
Really?
banned somebody not too long ago.
Damn,
Yeah, you feel me?
Jet doesn't play.
Jet don't play.
Jet don't fuck around.
Jet don't fuck around. But Jet is also a producer, and we
Oh,
have
so-
records together,
fire.
and he
Okay,
sends
cool.
in beats. I think
Shout
it'd
out
be
Jet.
cool too to listen to some of the stuff my chat has made.
Yeah,
so
I would
far at
actually
some point.
love to listen to some records, bro.
Okay.
I just I manage an artist who just put out an album that like is
Okay.
doing really well. Her name's 9 Days.
Okay.
Like 9 in Days.
So what type of music does she make? R&B?
Bro,
Rap?
she makes like very like soulful jazz. So like I kind of talk about her like a British Erykah Badu.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very
fire.
like she doesn't like to call herself neo soul, but it's like very like neo soul jazz
Okay.
vibes. Yeah.
Neo soul-esque type.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Nah, she's like a Cleo Soul, like a young
Oh,
Cleo
wow.
Soul. Yeah, bro, she's sick. She like vocalizes and it just sounds like very wild.
Okay, well look, if you need some beats, chat.
I do, yeah. We're working
Chat.
on the deluxe for the album, bro. She's at all time for the album we just put out, almost 700,000 streams.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look, chat. So send some stuff. Look, because what's gonna happen is when he leaves our stream, you guys, I'm gonna send him home with a pack of stuff from you guys.
For
You know what I'm
sure,
saying?
yeah.
Because you know I'm all about the stream is all about like getting people more exposure. So I got people from literally everywhere. Jet lives in the Bay right now, and literally
shout out, yeah.
you're from the Bay. You know what I'm saying?
707. Oh my
So
God,
like
Jay.
Jet, let me tell you,
Yeah.
he this is a label exec. You know what I'm saying? Like he may not be an A&R, but like he's tapped in with the scene. You never know who people know. You never know who people are working on. So I think it'll be good for you guys to send some stuff in, and we're gonna get to know. If you just hopped in the chat right now, Jet,
Yeah.
but we've been chopping it up pretty much about like his label experience.
Yeah, so I
So-
didn't get to the point where I was an exec, but I knew a lot of execs.
Okay,
And
my bad. I
yeah,
misspoke.
I was like, no. Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time. I think like a lot of the execs I know, bro, it's like 10, 12,
Yeah.
15 years. Like a lot of them were worked on artists when I was in middle school.
Literally.
Where it's like, I'd talk to somebody and they'd be like, yo, like they were there when like Thug Lifestyle dropped Lifestyle.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God.
yo, bro,
what?
I had some crazy conversations. Like I had some wild, that like my mentor Lolly Jones worked with like Thug really early. She worked with the Migos on like their debut Culture album.
Culture,
You-
the first Culture album?
Yeah. Like she,
Bruh,
and
what?
so they were signed to the label 300.
Yes,
and like she
yes.
talked about like she told me like when they first came in and like they were tight and like bro, like
Her interaction. Did
like-
she ever interact with QC?
yeah. Well, so QC, I guess
Well,
originally was through
Coach.
300, and now Coach, and now it's with Motown, Universal.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So like, but she was telling me stories about like Takeoff and like all that shit. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's the thing is those executives, like a lot of them that have lasted are the ones that worked on like that kind of shit, like
Okay.
that kind of like. I'm like, damn. But and then there's like a new age executive where it's like people are coming in like off like one strong artist. So like people who like bring in like a Sailor,
Yeah.
like people who are like bringing in like young. That's the thing is you gotta kind of have a team around you.
Yes.
And I think like there's a lot of people at the label who are just like bringing in different artists and being like, hey, this is moving, bro. I think the best thing that I can tell an artist is like they're watching you.
Yes.
Like I think that's what you have to think about it as if
Yes.
like they're already watching you. Because that
Yes.
was, bro, the research teams at these labels, they see things that have 200 views. Like they see things that have 1,000 views, and like they're the first one to know if your song is picking up on TikTok. They know
Straight
about
up.
it, and it's every city. It's Memphis, it's Atlanta. I work a lot in the UK. Like, bro, the Bay. Like there are people whose job it is to go into a meeting every week
You
and
heard that,
play
chat.
music that is literally like popping in like Atlanta. Like I swear to God, like and it looks just like me. There's a dude that looks just like me that's in a meeting talking about like this is what's hot in Atlanta right now, and it sounds crazy, and it doesn't always have to be white people, like, but it's like, bro, but it's like it's just funny as fuck because it's like you never would think. I got a couple homies who like still work at the label who are like so tapped in.
I have some questions. I have a whole lot of questions for you, actually, bro. But the first one I'm thinking about is, all right, so you said that they're always looking, they're always paying attention, they're always. I personally feel like that it's now, and you also mentioned that most of those execs are 12 years. They've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
It's times have changed. I think you are a part of my generation.
For sure, yeah.
And it's your turn to be one of those people to, I mean, you've been putting in the work for years on the stuff, and eventually you're going to get your opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think these labels now need to start paying attention. Okay, we got Kari in the chat. Let's go.
Hey, Kari in it.
Yes. I think it's me and Kari, again, it's interesting that he joins the conversation at this point because we always talk about, I'm always ranting about how these labels are ran by Gen X and millennials. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the ones.
Elliot's 30.
Just
and like
saying,
that, and that sounds old, but it does, because I'm 25. I don't know how old you are,
I'm
but
28. I'm up there, but like,
it's changed over, like, bro, I came in like 2020, 2020, like 2023, bro. Like, things were like done. Like, the old ways were already
cooked, bro.
And it caught up to people who had been kind of floating by. Like, like I'll tell you this.
Bro.
So like when I was at Atlantic, bro, we had this like every 3 months they would lay off like 20 people.
Seriously?
Just like really silently, they would just like fire like the radio team, or they would fire like video commissioners. And it's like, to a certain extent, I kind of get it, because it's like, radio's on the downturn. Like, music videos don't make as much money as they used, because it's all money driven.
The culture has
all
shifted.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's TikTok. Now it's like whatever. Like, even Snapchat's still kind of a big, like, that's what was happening. So when I got hired in like beginning of 2023, and towards the like my first day, they laid off like 20 people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, it's crazy, bro.
But it makes sense though, because they're ushering in your generation.
So they were
slowly.
So people at the top were slowly like thinking that it was like, bro, we gotta start hiring some younger people. So like slowly.
They got Sean in there, bro. Look, I gotta give you the wow.
No, and I got lucky because like Sync, like I was telling you, is kind of like not really related to the label. So like, again, like they have album rollouts. Like a label probably has like 4 or 5 album rollouts a month.
Dang,
and it's
I didn't know that was that many.
Bro, it's a lot. Okay. I mean, like Atlantic alone had like 200 artists, and like a part of that too was like when they were letting people go who like worked in these kind of more archaic parts of the industry, they were also letting artists go.
Yes.
So they were letting artists go who like weren't really doing that well, who got signed by an executive who like was dating the artist at the time. Like
literally,
like it's
shit like that, bro.
And I think what happened was like Atlantic merged with this company 10K that Elliot kind of started like when he was in college, and obviously like his dad is Lucian, so he's had like kind of a leg up. Like I think
that was your boss. I'm still tripping over
that
the
was
fact
my boss.
that.
And I only spoke to him like maybe twice, but he was a very like charming dude, like but you could tell he was smart, because it's like, it's one thing to be a nepo baby, but it's another thing to be like a nepo baby who like actually is like curious,
got the genius,
and understands. I'm not trying to glaze him too. It's just like,
nah, we can glaze a little bit.
No, because he's a billionaire. His dad's a billionaire, so it's like, you know, it's like it's a tricky subject. But the thing is he was smart, because when he started 10K, he brought in all these 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds who were like working in the industry. Like there's this guy Figs, like shout out Figs. He's a good friend of mine. Like he was like a creative director. He was working with Amine really early. He was working with Sailor really early. And so like he got picked up to do creative. So like that's why Sailor's creative is so fire. Like that's why like all the artists they have on 10K like look good and their rollouts are good, because there are people who really care. And I feel like when I started working there, I saw a lot of people who didn't care just kind of start to fall at the wayside. And I left, thankfully, Atlantic on my own volition. Like I never got fired. I was just like ready for a change, because I didn't want to do Sync anymore. But yeah, like it was so interesting, because everyone at Atlantic was like 35.
I mean,
and everyone at 10K was like 25.
And it's hard for me to even like process, because these. And it's not a knock to Gen X. I'm not saying this shit to knock Gen X. I'm not saying this shit to knock the millennials. I'm just saying this to say the standard has changed, right? Yeah. And now you got millennials and Gen X trying to tell these new artists who are Gen Z how to be artists and what they need to do from a standard that happened in the 2000s, in the early 2000s. Like that formula, that method has changed so much. Like, and even when they're trying to give advice, like, oh, you need to make content, like the artist is confused. Like Doechii was so confused with TDE when they were trying to like mold her sound and get her to do some stuff. She talked about it in a new album. You know what I'm saying? Like I even have gone through my own phase of just like the 15-second reels, because I know labels, when I'm already thinking at like 10 steps ahead. Like they're gonna tell you need to make content for your music. The 15-second reels is the only way people have been thinking about making the content.
Doechii was vlogging though, and I didn't realize that until because it was before Twitch, so the Twitch wasn't really a thing yet. But like I actually went back recently, and she was like putting out content that way, where she was talking about her life, where she's like, dang, I just got fired from Chipotle, but I'm gonna put all my shit into my music.
Literally.
And people were fucking with that even back then. Like she just like TikTok really wasn't a thing, but her music was good for TikTok. So a lot of artists like in that late like 20, like right around COVID time, like their music started to do good on TikTok, and they were like, oh, I guess I gotta hop on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's dated, bro. Like even, well, not TikTok isn't dated, but I'm just saying like well, making content for your stuff is never been an old concept. We get that, and that's why the Gen X and the millennials at these labels are telling you need to make content. Now TikTok is the most quickest way you can make your content. I've done the 15-second reels way, but I've noticed that since we started streaming, you guys can even attest that we have formed genuine relationships.
But here's the thing though that I realize is you don't form genuine relationships on TikTok.
No.
People discover you on TikTok.
Yes.
So what happens is like people will see you and they'll follow you, but they'll never see your content again because of the way the algorithm works. So it's like you have to find a way to funnel them to other platforms like Twitch or to like your Instagram or to your YouTube where you're putting out creative stuff.
It can't just start. It just can't be only TikTok. You guys.
TikTok can only get you so far, and I've had that issue with. Yeah, nah, for real. Like I've had that issue with the artist that I work with, who like she's like her biggest platform is TikTok, and people are just like seeing the songs, but they're not going and listening to her album. And they're not going and following her. So what I did recently was like I was looking at Doechii, and she loves to like talk to the camera, and I was like, we should put out like a video diary, like a vlog. So that like went up on her Instagram and that kind of thing, and then like the content side of it, like where it's like, you know, like on the radar style stuff.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of those locally in every city. And that's actually a good way to get found by labels. And I will say, like, I know a lot of A&Rs who are super tapped into, like, you know, like the Corner Store in LA or like, you know, and they like on the radar and they talk to them and they're like, yo, who's coming up that you're excited about? And honestly, it's being at the label is the easiest job in the world because you get to kick back and you get to like have all these platforms up and just see who does well. Because the ultimate litmus test is how many views you get, how much engagement you get, and you can't fake that.
No,
you can't fake engagement.
You can't fake real people. You know what I'm saying? Long form content, meaningful connections.
Yeah,
no doubt, straight up. And that's
people,
what I'm saying. Like literally, bro. Like me and Kari talk about this all the time about how like this idea came to me from just like always looking at my setup. I've been having this setup to stream forever. Yeah. But bro, like when I put it all together with the music, I'm like, even when I do my reels, like I'm meeting new people, and all you guys have, it did get me to a point. And I'm not saying it to say that when you make your content, it's just gonna fall on dull ears and people won't. If you do 15-second reels, people aren't gonna buy into you. It's not the case because so many people are discovering you. But just like Sean said, bro, like these people are just discovering you. They're not gonna like keep wanting to dive into the stuff that you got going on. Now, when you have a platform like this where you can actually be, you know, have some connection, like all you guys in this chat know me from the Pray For Us record initially. Then we made songs together, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like we've developed core relationships. And not only that, but like people who've come on stream, we've developed relationships with them
because they become invested and you become invested in them, where it's like you see the people in the stream that are recurring, like you see like the people who are like the kind of content you're doing that people are fucking with, you know what I mean? Like I think it's like you have to think about it as like a long-term thing. So it's like, how are they going to discover me? TikTok, check. Like, how are they going to get to know me? Twitch, check. How are they going to like how am I going to keep them like for my longevity? Like, put out just good music. Yeah. Like you can't really like you can't fake it. You can have, it's almost like My Player NBA like 2K where it's like you may be fire from like 3, but you also have to like get good at like driving to the lane, or
and
like
have
you have
interior defense and perimeter defense.
Exactly. Like, facts. Like you have to like you have to like put in the work, and I think that's why a lot of people like get like unmotivated, is because they're like, well, like people aren't fucking with it. It's like, okay, like try something else. If they're not fucking with the discovery, maybe meet them like when you're more developed on like Reels or on Twitch, like where people are gonna go back and be like, where did? Because I do that all the time. It's like reverse engineering, like an artist success, like Doechii. People find her at Anxiety, and then they go back.
Yes.
They're like, why was I late to this?
Yes.
That's a good way to like reverse engineer it for people. Where it's
Did
like,
someone say 2K? You're crying.
yeah, that's the first thing that came to my head. But like, I mean, I used to play a lot of 2K. But
we all play 2K. That's why my chat said that.
Yeah, no, my player
we
was
get that
stupid.
game.
Yeah,
they asking me to come to the park. We gonna get that game in. Just know we getting it, Wiki. I mean, Jet, we getting it. We going to the park together. We playing 2v2
for sure.
That's it, like.
Yeah, nah, I mean, I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about Doechii and people going back to the artist.
So like, yeah, a lot of times, I mean, that's like what being a super fan is. So it's like you create the super fan of you, and then they'll want to go back and like find out like, okay, or just like so it's like the casual fan, there's a super fan, and then there's like the moderate, like right in the middle. And it's like, you can have more than one or the other, but then you have to start pouring into people where it's like, oh, I only have a bunch of casual fans.
Okay.
Then like, what are the people that really listen to me? Like, what do they want? Like, what do they like? Like, do they like? And you can see that in your own analytics, where it's like you go to YouTube, like you like, okay, my artist like Leon Thomas.
Exactly.
So it's like, now I want to work with artists who are like, I see 3-point specialists coming.
Yeah. Wiki is OD.
No, that's not funny. No, but you're like, okay, my fans like that are resonating with my music really like Leon Thomas. So it's like, now I want to go work with a bunch of artists who are in the R&B soul scene.
Okay.
So it's like, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of applying, like, I have the label experience, and now I'm in the weeds with it because I have my own artist that I'm like, we're doing content. And she's, bro, she posts on TikTok. I don't even have to tell her. Yeah. Like, literally, she just like will sit on the bus. She'll put like the train. Yeah, she'll put it, and she'll be like, hey, like, she has 30,000 followers damn near. She'll be like, hey, I'm 9 days. Like, this is my song. And it was a song from 6 months ago. And she just posted. She just like randomly like knows what to do. And it's like, I'm not good at that shit. Literally. I'm better at the long form, like, okay, like, let's put some thought into, like, she's sending me video diaries and I'm chopping them up to where she's like telling a story. That's like what I did recently. That was like really cool. But yeah, and like, and working on her records was super sick. But
that's the best way to go about it, though. Like, I feel like the long form, both are essential, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to think about the attention span of a person, and just scrolling. Like the Twitch, our clips do well on TikTok, because they're long form, but they're also like entertaining. Like they're I mean, if you can
because you clip the best parts of it, and
if you can get them there for a minute, like, you know what I'm saying, TikTok is paying for minute-long videos. Mm-hmm. Like, so you want your content to be a minute. They're asking you to make minute-long content because that's the only way you're gonna get your money for real. Like,
yeah, and I think it also can't only be about the music. No. Like, I think like we're talking about 2K right now. Like, that's a good entry point into like, okay, you make music. Like, okay, I also game. Like, I'm seeing like right now, I don't know, you're hip to like Love Island.
Everybody,
like,
this girl I was chopping it up with.
Every girl.
I'm watching Young Love Island right now. Like,
but that's the thing, though. It's like, bro, like, there's a lot of people who like really into reality TV.
Yeah.
Like, that's also a way. Yeah, Hood of L's. Like, that's also a way. That's also a way to like get in, where it's like, okay, like your boy, like I Breathe Music All Day, is like doing like the videos.
RJ.
He's not just a producer; he's also a content creator.
Exactly.
So it's like people are meeting him at his content, but then like getting it, because that's how Jay Versace was too.
Literally.
Like, literally, like, you have to kind of like assess what you like and what your interests are, and then you gotta be like, who would I want to follow?
Straight
like,
up.
who would I want to like? Who do I enjoy watching? And then you just
fun.
recreate that. Then you just literally be like, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Straight up.
Yeah, literally.
Straight up.
That's
literally that's what my vision came with the streaming. Like, out of all the streamers who are doing, you know, music, the only person that's really doing it to the highest level right now is DDG and Plaque Max, but both of them are on the OPM side of music, right?
Yeah.
Both of them, or DDG's, I don't know, DDG's kind of eclectic, but I'll still categorize his music as OPM style-esque stuff. Yeah. What we're doing on this side, I really clocked it. I was like, yo, there's no one on the West Coast covering the abstract scene, and that's the reason why we don't have it. Like, goes back to my question earlier, was why the New York has such a popping scene, and LA doesn't. But all the labels are here. This is where the scene should be. They should be. You guys should be at your label meetings. Like, all right, you guys got to find some new artists. You should be able to go to the club and find all the artists that linked up the same way they are in New York. There's no reason why. I know almost every artist in New York. E. Stephanie, Wise Boy Jeremy, Nora's World. Like, all those people like are kind of like, they're in a circle. They're in their Nyla, there's another one. She's there's so many people that's doing their thing, and they have they're getting the looks they're getting because not only are they in the same spot together, but they're also curating their sound. Like they're if it's like alternative R&B and alternative hip hop.
Yeah,
they're both meeting in the middle.
Yeah, like they have a common goal. Like I'm thinking about like Pino and Nora's World, where they just put out that record that's like literally like a 2000s R&B like classic. Like it looks like
ignoring me, SMA.
No, bro, it's funny you said that. She also was ignoring me too because I wanted her to do a show, and I have like an R&B platform that I have like artists from out. It's funny because I feel like there's a pipeline of like every artist wants to be in LA, but like our scene like doesn't really allow for some genres to flourish. Like you were saying, like underground rap or like R&B really doesn't flourish well in LA. So
it's so weird though.
Yeah,
Sean,
it's
like,
weird as shit.
We have the Mint here and all these like what is it? The Roxy, all these small venues that could host a smaller audience curated for people who actually wanted to come out and see that stuff.
And you don't see a lot of underground artists perform. Like there's not like open mics here are basically just like pop singer songwriter stuff, and there's a lot of like there's a lot of like trap stuff you'll see like that are like I don't know, but the thing is like so I throw like R&B shows, and I would bring artists from like the UK, from Canada, from New York, from Atlanta, from Florida, and like I would be like, yo, you should do like a 50 cap room here just to see like what the temperature check is.
And a place that you've never been.
Yeah, and it's and it's like I'll make it free. I'll get the venue, just pull up, play some songs, like come here for a weekend, and you can spend that weekend like making music. That's how it starts though. That's what I realized is that's how you create the community first. Because it's like now R&B artists that are like way bigger are hitting me up like checking in, and I'm like, I'm not from LA, but like they're like, yo, I know you move around in the scene. That's like why my bio says like R&B enthusiast, because I really like live and breathe it. Like Nora's like one of the artists I found. Like you know, like that's like how you create like the community on like the non-music side. Yes. Is you're like, okay, we both make underground rap. Let's do a show. Let's see how many people we can get out. Let's like get a $500 venue for like 4 hours and like get a sound system for $100. Yeah, Florida R&B is sick too. Like like let's see what we can make happen. And that's like what Open Wave is doing too, like on Saturday. That's like what I was doing, but
like, that's where we met, chat. So like for people who just joined, like I went to his event last weekend, and our homegirl Ayana was performing. Ayana came on stream with us. She was like one of our second or third guests, I can't remember, but Akari produced most of our music, so of course we was gonna come out and support her when she told us about the event. And also the event was where we originally started doing the jam sessions together. Like it was the same building, just Amina's floor is all the way up at the top.
Yeah, you know, and I think I knew about you because I saw you on a stream, and I was like, damn, I hadn't seen anybody in LA doing the like similar like Black Boy Max style streams. Exactly. And that was something like my boy Osei does this thing. I don't know if you know Stereo Vision.
Why does the name sound familiar?
It's like a music platform where they talk about like rap, like Cardi, like they're pretty good, but they have like Osei does his own streams, and he'll like talk about like, because he works at Epic Records. So he'll talk about like he works on like Savage a little bit. He talks like works on Travis a little bit, like works, you know.
Who else is somebody big? So big was on Epic recently.
Tyler. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, that was a weird one because I guess Sylvia Rohn, who's the head of Epic, just like really liked her. And she was like one of those artists where it's like she looks great, she's like a great singer, but no one knew what to do because they're like, she's signed by an American label, but she's South African.
Super South.
So imagine everybody at Epic where they're like, I don't know what to do with this. Like I don't. Then I could understand it, but then like she dropped Water, and they're like, oh. It's kind of how Afrobeats was a couple years ago with like Wizkid and like One Dance. It's like, oh, we like give the like Aaliyah aesthetics and we put it like over this Afro pop sounding music, and then people from America are finding it like, what is this? Like, yeah, and it's kind of like how Afrobeats was, where it's like, what is like Wizkid? It's like you hear his accent, he's from Nigeria. Yeah, Rema, like the girl Tiwa Savage too, like really early. They're like, whoa, like this is fire. I never heard anything like this.
They want me to introduce you again one more time.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, so Wiki, this is Sean.
What's up? Yeah, Sean.
We met at an event last weekend where our homegirl Ayana was performing. Right? He was hosting the event. He's also a record. Is the best way to describe? You worked for a record label.
Yeah, like I had record label experience. I worked at Atlantic
experience.
Records and I was at Sony. And I know a lot of people across the labels, like
Exactly.
at Epic, at Columbia, like at
His boss was at Sony or Atlantic was Lucian's son.
Yeah, so Elliot Grange is the head of Atlantic Music Group, which was
Okay.
my boss is my latter half of my tenure.
Elliot Grange.
I could have stayed, bro. That was the crazy.
That's
part.
what I'm
It's
saying. He left on his own volition, you guys.
I could have. That's the thing is, it got tricky because I don't know how to explain it. I think about it like kind of like film, right?
Mm-hmm.
So film, it's like you come in as a PA, like you're just working on sets, you're kind of around,
yes.
and so like you either kind of like become like a shadow of somebody, and you start like they start teaching you, and then you kind of start learning more, then they start putting you in position.
Okay.
But like to be like a director or a producer or a DP or whatever, like in film terms. But I came in early and I couldn't find that next step because like a lot of the people, especially A&Rs, like you find like the older and the younger are like competition.
Literally,
So
and that's probably why it is. The game is what
Yeah.
it is, and I can already see the OGs probably like hating on a new A&R.
Well, think it because they don't want them to surpass you because it's like, man, I've been an A&R for 10 years. I don't want to lose my spot because my
Yeah.
shit is getting cold. So every artist that I signed over the past 4 years hasn't had a hit, and then now they're looking at this kid from like Memphis who's like cool with every Memphis rapper, and he's bringing in shit, and we got this like contractor relationship with him where it's like the head of the label will call him and be like, yo, what do we sign? That's like a lot of what, especially older Atlantic, like before Lucy, like Elliot was like, you had a lot of like these young kids that like were kind of nameless and they wouldn't be in the meetings, but what would happen is the executives would be like, well, this is what we got to sign. And you're like, how do you know what's going
They
on?
don't.
in Atlanta
Like
right
they
now?
literally
Like how do and they literally, bro, that's the thing is I'd say the best quality you can have working in music or just being in music is just being a good listener, bro.
Yeah.
Like just when you and like trusting like your
Having
instinct.
your ear to the streets
Yeah,
is
bro,
important, bro.
that is
Like,
that will get you a label job if you can prove, like myself, where it's like I'm tapped into the UK scene. So now I have a lot of British artists who are way bigger than any artist I've ever worked with tapping in with me like, yo, bro, I'm trying to get to LA. Where do I move around? And I'm like,
you're the middleman.
yeah, no,
Like,
yeah, and I put myself in good position because now I go to the UK and all the people who work at the big UK labels are like, Sean's the American guy who's putting us on. And so, bro, I like
you're the RJ for them. Like you know, like that's crazy.
nah.
Hold on, we gonna give him some props for that one. Like,
Yeah, nah, thank you. Yeah, no, I found my niche. That was my thing. Is I like similar to you, where you're like underground. Like I'm a Twitch stream. I'm gonna like make
Yes.
beats and catch a vibe. Like
which brings me kind of
Yeah.
to my next question. I have another question
Yeah.
for you. Sorry to cut you off. I'm
No,
just
no,
so
you're good,
enthused
man.
with these questions
you're
right
good,
now,
man.
bro.
yeah.
But the next question I was gonna ask is, are labels? Because my chat is mostly producers.
Okay, cool.
Are labels still signing producers? And what's the thing with that?
Yeah, bro, they signed Murder Beats yesterday.
What the heck?
And yeah, he got signed by 10K yesterday.
Are you serious? So look,
They
chat.
sign producers a lot.
So what do you think is are they going off of the same metrics as finding an artist and stuff like that too?
Think about like Cole Bennett, right?
Mhm.
Like Cole Bennett is a tastemaker. He's like bringing value in the terms of like he's like setting the tone, right? Like he's like okay, we're gonna like do like Jack Harlow and Dave on us again, like UK and US. Like we're gonna put them on a song together, or like he's like I'm gonna shoot the video and like make band for band happen.
Okay.
And like he does albums and he does festivals. And it's like you kind of have to be like, what am I bringing to the table besides
Exactly.
like good beats? Because I think like you can get overlooked and just thrown into music sessions and not really be valued, where you're kind of nameless, where you're like, yeah, like he makes good beats, but like so does everyone else. Like so like yeah, like she makes good beats, but it's like we could find that kind of beat from like BeatStars. But like what really sets you apart is like, nah, this person's tapped in locally. Yeah, this person's like an A&R. That's the thing I think as a producer, you have to learn how to be an A&R.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn.
You heard
like,
that, chat?
Yeah,
Look.
like you have to learn like who's gonna sound good on a record together, and you have to be the liaison for like, okay, somebody sent me this beat, this like track that they want me to produce out. Like I'm gonna produce it out and I'm gonna help them like roll it out on TikTok, or I'm gonna help them like do a remix of it, or like or I'm gonna send it to like a different artist to do like a flip on it. You know what I mean? Like you have to have multiple things that you're doing where it's like I'm not just making the beat, because I've seen producers who are so talented and like the artist will walk in the room and not know who they are, but then everyone knows who DJ Khaled is. He doesn't make any beats. He doesn't make a beat in his life, and it's like, bro, he's richer than 90% of every producer ever.
And sorry to bring his name up right now, but like,
Do you have the sound?
Diddy.
Oh, Diddy is crazy.
He's one of the best at it. I hate to give him credit, but like he's made a career.
He was rapping too.
But he was like fake rapping. Like he was nah. Like bro, he was really making his money off like orchestrating and getting the right people together. Like making the band was.
He was a playmaker. He was a playmaker.
Yes, and that's important in music. Like even like a lot of people flack people like DJ Khaled for like not producing and stuff like that, but neither does Kirk Franklin. And like he puts all this stuff together, and without him. You don't get like
that's the key. Without you, does the record happen? Without you, does the record happen? And if the answer is yes, then you're important. If the answer is no, then you're not important.
Exactly.
And think about like there's so many good like bro. I'm sure we both know like so many good singers, but like again, they don't know how to execute on like writing a catchy song or like writing a song that like is fresh.
You just got a good voice.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing about producers. The same kind of thought process where it's like you're just. Like, can a good record happen without you? Yeah, nah, Rick Rubin's a GOAT, bro. I mean, he doesn't even touch an instrument. Like, at least Diddy could probably play a couple keys on the piano.
He writes books.
Yeah.
Do you have
to live and be developing relationships in a big market to build this as a producer? I feel like it's like a yes and no question.
I agree.
Like I think like you have to like have a certain niche that you know better than anybody else. It has to be
some market you're tapped into.
Yeah, and it could be like man, I'm from like Kentucky, but I'm every time we do a show, like everyone in Kentucky's pulling up.
Okay.
And it's like that's like interesting for me because it's like what's going on there?
Or even like a case like RJ where like he's like in Memphis.
Right. Yeah.
But like his scene is in New York. Like he's tapped in with all the artists out there. When he throws an event, all those artists come out and perform at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
And I think like there's a lot of producers who like work online. Like where it's like, bro, like I'm just like finding fire artists like early like on YouTube and I'm just like bro like I think too you can kind of get stuck in like trying to get beats to people but like a lot of artists don't have like a good like critique person in their ear that they trust their tastes. Like you don't even have to be the one making the beats. You could just like if they send you all their records and you tell them which ones are good and which ones are not, like you're in a way a producer.
You
like
executive producer.
You're not exactly. Like you're not a producer on the record, but you could be more important than the person who's like literally making the beat. They gonna put
your name on the title as executive producer.
Yeah,
you know
literally.
Like,
that's how I was with my artist because she lives in the UK. So like
that's so cool that you're tapped into everybody in London too, like or the UK in general. Like
yeah, they have a crazy scene over there, especially R&B. And bro, I'm going in August.
Are you serious?
Yeah, let me know. They have this like. I'm not going for this, but when I'm going, they do this thing called like Notting Hill Carnival, and it's like the Brazil style carnival.
Okay, my people's is from Brazil.
Oh like that's fire. Okay, sick. Yeah.
That's fire,
bro. Yeah, I'm going for that, and then like we're gonna do. I've thrown shows out there
in London or in the UK or in London.
Yeah.
What?
And bro, it was pretty sick, but
yo, Lancey Fox. Yeah.
Bro, yeah, I know his team.
Wait, you know Lancey?
No, his team. So it's name it's the same label as like Natanya, Lancey Foe. They have the girl I'm forgetting the other UK girl who had that song. She kind of looks like Amy Winehouse. I'm forgetting her name. Fuck, I'm forgetting her name. I
know I'm so bad with names. I'm better with faces, bro.
That's gonna piss me off. Wait, I'll show you. I'm so bad with names.
You guys, look, I'm telling you.
There's so many fire artists in the UK though, I'm telling you. This girl Natanya is sick.
Let me see.
This girl Natanya.
Okay,
Human Resources. Yeah, so that's his actually US based distribution company.
Okay.
And they sign a lot of UK artists.
Okay.
And they make a lot of money.
There's
a lot of UK artists that are streaming well. So like yeah.
You're gonna get the money on.
Yeah. But I was gonna tell you how it happened. So like the head of A&R. So they used to have it where it was like an urban side and then it was like a pop and rock side. I don't really believe in that model because I feel like you can kind of cross. You have a lot of people, but like, so there's a head of the like rap and R&B side. Her name was Lon Ray. I wasn't close with her, but I would chat to her occasionally. And like, there was one time where I was playing her records.
Okay.
So imagine me, bro. She works with like Bruno. She's on the phone with like fucking like Cardi B constantly.
What?
Like she's like, bro, like that's just the crazy part about being at labels. Like you'll talk to people who are like literally like best friends with like your like Thug. like are gonna like where they're like they could call and FaceTime. I mean, they pick
people
up the phone.
who like artists who are so like,
Yeah, because it's like those are the people they've been working with and the people who have like climbed the ladder. So when they get signed, that's the person who's like literally giving you the deal across the table. But there, I was just so Lon Ray is the head of like rap and R&B A&R, and like I was playing her some music I'd found, and there was a UK artist that I was like listening to, and she was like, "That's cool." She was like, "You should go there." This is how they think. She's like, "You should go there and like FaceTime me and like we can like get to know her and see like where her head's at." I was like, I actually happened to be just like I'd went once with my ex-girlfriend, and I like before that meeting I'd like planned a trip, just go for a couple of days. Just I do that a lot. I go places by myself.
You
and
pulling up dolo, bro.
I insert myself into the scene. So
that's
literally,
how you have to do it, though.
bro. I swear to God, I literally like booked a flight, pulled up. I went on Dice. Like not Partiful, but like Eventbrite, and I was like R&B show. I was like rap show, and I was just gonna pull up Dolo and just start chatting to people. That's a great way to meet people. That's how I met like Ayana, for example. Like just pull up
like,
solo places. But so we had this conversation with Lon Ray, and it was like before the layoffs. So the layoffs happened.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm still going. Like fuck it, I might as well still meet with this artist. Like she had some buzz kind of like in the label. And I like met up with her. We like went to a coffee shop. She like pulls out her laptop and she's like playing. It was so funny. She's like playing records off the laptop. Some of the best music I've heard in a long time.
Literally.
So I told Lon Ray about it. She was like not really responding to me, and I was like, I kind of figured that would happen. So we stayed tapped in, and like like we kind of she would send the artist would send me records. So she'd be like, how does this sound? I'd be like, well, if you like shortened it a little bit, it's kind of long. Maybe like move these sections around. And she was like, okay, bet. She put the song out. 500,000 streams, and like I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice, and I was like, okay, well, I just A&R'd that record, but cool. So I was like, okay, I didn't get anything from it, but
well, you could bring it up. And
I know exactly. So, but the thing was, is like we created a rapport, and I was like executive producer. So then she sends me a couple more records. She's like, well, I'm trying to put out an EP, and I was like, okay, bet. So I'm like, these ones are cool. You should keep working on these ones. She like works on them. Then she like sends me more. I'm like, you got an album? Yeah. So we've been working on it like past couple months. I go there in May, and we do like a release party. Because we made this out, like she was sending me records back from like London and like LA, and then that's like how I got tapped in, because I went there that last time in October, got to know her. I met a bunch of other fire artists. Bro, I would go to like Afrobeat nights, and I pull up Dolo, just like have a drink, and I just see people who kind of look like artists.
Are you
like,
gonna throw another one here?
Yeah. So I'm trying to throw one in July, but I'm gonna the British artist is coming to LA in August. Okay. So I can introduce you to her. She's really sick. She's like very like neo soul vibes.
Bro, like literally, I live for stuff like this. My homegirl KG. Yeah. Shout out KG. She loves Afrobeats. That's her stuff. That's her stuff.
For sure.
She's put me on to so many different people to listen to and stuff throughout the year. So my taste for it has grown even more too, because like the style of beats, when I first started producing, I wanted to make everything. Right. I didn't get to like making the abstract. Well, it was already in me to make this type of stuff, but I was working with singers because I just wanted to expand my production. I used to watch Akari produce for all these people and just like him pulling all these elements, and I was trying to do my own version of it at school. You know what I'm saying? So like I would do the same stuff, have run sessions and try different type. I think Afrobeats and like the Jamaican reggae is like easier. Once you learn those drum styles, you can kind of build around it. You know
the reggaeton. So, like
he said, please tap me in with these R&B.
Yeah,
Wiki's the one that wanted. That's his name, Wiki the one. Like
okay,
Wiki.
I'll give you a couple. So some of my favorite right now is Natanya. Like she's got reposted by Janet Jackson actually.
What the hell?
Like she did a cover of Someone to Call Your Lover, and like she reposted it on her story. It's Natanya. And she just put out an EP, bro. It's like experimental, like R&B, very like Natasha Bedingfield, like early like 2000s. Like
mess with Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah, it's sick.
Pocket full of sunshine.
Yeah, but she's fire. She went on tour with Destin Conrad in the UK after her. Yeah. So like she did her like early EP last year, self-produced. She was in uni, like she toured with Destin, then she toured with Flo.
Okay, and so that really did it.
Yeah, she's cool with like Cash Cobain too. Then she got the co-sign from. Yeah, that's the thing is like I didn't realize it at the time, but a lot of like R&B artists, not their A&Rs, not their managers, not their labels, are like trying to tap in with the UK, because they're always first and they're so experimental.
Yeah.
Like they had Afrobeats and dancehall like 10 years before
They
we
also
did.
pack out arenas.
Yeah, facts.
Like-
And they consume our music, and I feel like sometimes they make our music better. Like
Yeah.
sometimes they like their drills.
Who's the new drill,
their
bro? I was about to say,
Their
like,
drill scene is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
chat, who's the drill person who you guys listen to? That be going crazy. He's like
Nems.
Nems.
I fuck with Nems. He had that song with Lotto that's like doing really well right now.
Yeah.
But you see, bro, it clocked to me early that American artists were like thinking it was cool. So like, you know, like Central C and 21
Exactly,
Savage, like
Central C too.
they were like, fuck, there's like a pipeline. And I saw that too, where I'm like, there's no one in LA that is like a master of like UK R&B who like has a pipeline who can go there and be good and know exactly where to go. And I was like, damn, like
That's
I
your
found
niche.
it. I found it. I was looking for it because I was like, I love rap. Obviously, like I'm a big rap head. I listen to like a lot of Afro beats and like pop too. But I was like, UK R&B. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Like, there's not a lot
It's
of people
niche.
bringing it here and like exposing them to our culture, and then vice versa. There's not a lot of American artists going there. You know,
Still trying to figure out how to make a Bay Area SOB type.
it's all the acid base. It's literally you just like, bro, you listen to Mac Dre for 30 minutes and you will like his deep cuts and you will know how to make SOB rapping. Like you will literally know. Like that's why I mean that's all I listen to. Like Nef the Pharaoh too was a big
Pharaoh is
yeah,
the one.
probably one of my favorite artists growing up. But that scene of
Dang.
like the HBK gang where it's like I'm Sue, P-Lo, who's still really in the mix.
Oh, he's
like,
tapped in.
they-
Yeah,
no,
he's
bro.
super tapped
Bro,
in.
they
Wait.
pulled up. P-Lo and Cool John did a show.
Yo, give me that.
Bro, it was so crazy. They did a show.
Big
and,
timing. Yep.
Yeah,
There's a big timing.
yeah,
That's the one.
Come Pick Me Up is one of his most fire records. It's like a slow jam. But P-Lo, Cool John put out an album like a couple months ago, like towards the fall. They pulled up to Peppermint Club.
The peppermint.
Yeah, bro. So I was with my boy Ryan, and they did their performance, and I was like, I bet I could go say what's up to him. So I would like confidently walk to the back, bro. Literally to the green room. It's literally Larry June, P-Lo, like
Oh my
fucking
God.
bro, like all the Bay Area legends.
It's Bay Area level.
yeah,
like,
bro.
Like
Cool John,
royalty in there, bro.
bro. Yeah, like bro, Sage the Gemini was in there.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, damn, bro. And I'm from I'm from the Bay, so I was like, damn, it's crazy. But yeah, so
He asked you if you know who Yada is.
nah, I don't actually.
You don't know who Yada is.
I'm not as tapped in as I used to be, so that's why I'm saying like Neffy. That's why I'm saying like I am Sue, because now it's I know 22nd Jim a little bit. He's pretty cold. Yeah, EBK J-Bo I think is from the Bay.
J-Bo.
But bro, again, there's people at like Atlantic that are like Bay Area rap specialists. So it's like they know all the producers in the mix, like they know all the like people that are coming up, and they just go. And that's the thing is they just go there.
Okay.
Like that's the thing is it's like, bro, you want to become like there's like what do they call it? Like shock therapy, where it's like you
Yes.
put yourself like in something and you just like fight or flight or like fail or flail or whatever. So it's like I go to Atlanta like by myself like a couple times a year.
Oh my goodness,
I got a new bro.
That's so risky.
I was supposed to, bro. I mean, I know,
like you go to Japan, like bro. You
bro.
can't-
I don't fear anything, bro. I'm telling you, like I'll be.
But you have to have that energy.
Yeah,
for real.
yeah. No, bro. I do that in New York too. Like I'm trying to go back to Miami.
I've never been to Miami. It's easier to do in New York. You can pull up Dolo to
Yeah,
New York for real.
yeah.
Like
Nah, it's like it's not a safety thing, but it's like, bro, you gotta know where to go and you gotta be confident about
facts.
it. Cause it's like, yeah, bro, it's like I'm just pulling up to like Atlanta. It's like, okay,
you,
like
just
they're gonna.
just chilling in Bankhead.
Like,
Like
what are you doing here? You don't sound like you're from here, but yeah.
Yo, he said don't go to
exactly.
Clayco.
Nah. East Atlanta.
Yo.
Nah, I saw the video there with You say you knew B-Mace?
Yes.
Yeah, so B-Mace and Muse Oasis, they have like a group.
Okay.
And I produced a video for them like in East Atlanta. randomly.
Crazy. So you just shot it in East Atlanta?
Yeah, just like, bro, I forget. I think I just found one of their records on YouTube, and I was just like, hey, this is fire. Like, what are you guys working on now? Because I was still working at Atlantic at the time, and I played it to a couple people. They were like, it's cool. I don't love it. I was like, I'm fucking liking it.
You see the vision.
So I was like, yeah, cool. Like, you guys, they didn't really need beats at the time. They needed more like session stuff. But I was like, I have this cool idea for a video.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I just went to Atlanta and just met them out there.
That's ridiculous,
Yeah,
bro.
and that's like how a lot of the things have happened. Like, there's another girl in the UK named Lilo Gold who I did a video for. We shot it in Vegas.
Really?
So she flew here, did my show. So she performed. Then we drove up to Vegas, did a video.
Okay. Dang,
Yeah.
from here to Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, full
Yeah,
road
bro,
trip.
Med was in it. I don't know if you knew that.
Med was in it. He was telling me he was in
Yeah,
it,
that
yo.
was the
It's
video.
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that video though.
Yeah, it was
like
that video.
this dude Med be all over.
Nah,
bro.
he's easy,
like,
bro. He's
yo.
like me. Nah, I love Med because he's like.
I love
literally-
Med, bro.
He's on the same timing that I'm on, so.
Med is like one of my favorite.
But you
people
have to be
just
on timing,
quit.
bro. You have to just know, like if you like underground New York rap, like you just gotta pull up and insert yourself, or
the scene.
you just gotta start DMing them and be like, yo, and you gotta create a value proposition of like, yo, I make R&B music and I live in Atlanta. If you ever pull up to Atlanta, hit me up, or like I'm gonna send you some stuff and let's work on a project together.
You hearing that, chat?
Yeah.
Look, bro. He's giving you the blueprint to how to do this. He said, "Bro, got motion."
If people don't look at it and expect it, but yeah, like it's just about, bro. It's about like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like I can have conversations with artists and give them like advice and like tell them like maybe what I think they should do or whatever. Like or not, we just talk about regular shit. I can talk to the executives about like okay, like they have I'll never forget like once so 300 is like with Atlantic, right? And I remember I went to, I'm pretty sure it was Gunna's show, or no, maybe it was Jordan Adetunji. I can't remember who it was, but it was an artist on the roster. I was with the head of A&R. I was just a random dude, like we just happened to be sitting next to each other. The head of A&R who works on all these records was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Bro, it's
He's
crazy."
giving your opinion
It was
on
the
this shit,
craziest
like,
thing because I'm like, dude, this guy like literally like works with them, like is texting them back and forth, like, "Oh, you should change this." He's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, I think it's cool, but maybe, like, this shouldn't have been the single or whatever. He's just like, huh. Just looks away. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. But that's not, but it's like, bro, like, they're all still students. Like, even if they may be bad or washed or whatever, like, they're all still kind of students. So
Yeah.
they're always still trying to, like, keep the ear to, like, what we like.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the thing is, like, if you fuck with it and you believe in it and you put resources into it and energy, like, you can't fail.
Exactly.
You can't fail.
I haven't
There's
discussed it with the chat yet,
Yeah.
but I have been getting vetted out by Atlantic Records, and
Yeah,
I've
you
been
told
telling.
me, yeah.
So it's just like, but it's crazy when I look back on the criteria on what it takes to get discovered, and my thing with it is this. Like my only thing with the label thing is like, bro, I just don't like, but you explained it to me already. Like, there's a competition thing going on the inside, and from the outside looking in, I'm just like, why is it that these labels aren't signing people, or why isn't their ear to what's in front of them? Like, and I'm so hard on TDE because they're supposed to be LA's version of the alternative hip hop scene, literally, and they've done a poor job, and I hate to say it,
yeah,
like,
they turned into a pop label. I mean,
literally,
they kind of like they don't break artists anymore.
No, like
I mean, they signed Alameda,
like
I guess.
Rayvon and
It's Alameda.
Alameda.
Yeah.
That's him, right? Like that's
Alameda's like the alternative girl. Like she has that song, I Bleach My Eyebrows. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah, I've seen her stuff before.
So
I've seen her stuff before.
yeah,
But it's just like their ear isn't to the streets for real, and
Yeah.
that's why the New York scene is popping right now, because whoever's the A&R at whatchamacallit at what did I just name yesterday on the radar, whoever those people who are finding the people on the ground level, getting them the opportunity to get seen, because there's like a hierarchy before you even get your deal, you guys. Like first you have to go crazy putting your stuff out. That's literally what he was explaining to you guys on how to even get discovered by a label. They're listening to you. Even if you got 200 views, they're watching. The next step is to, you know what I'm saying, then get signed, or after you get signed, or before you get signed, you're doing like the media stuff, like you're doing like the platforms.
visibility. Yeah, you're trying to just like get yourself outside.
Yeah, because the label can't do. They're only gonna go push your vision once it's already polished. Like they can only do so much for you, because if you don't have legs on your own, you're never gonna move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
like,
you think about them as like a bank, right? Like a bank in like an admin situation where it's like this person's gonna make like my wildest feature possible.
Yes.
Maybe. Like they're gonna open up doors for me to get my song to like TV film or like to radio. Like they're not gonna come in and tell you how to make your music better. They're only gonna tell you how to make more money from it.
Exactly.
They're only gonna put you on to like making your music more lucrative.
Exactly.
And like that's what they're paid to do.
They're
not paid. That's the thing is like the labels aren't. They get salaries, right? So they're not paid to make sure this artist blows up. And it may be every year that they're given a roster of 5 artists, and at the end of the year, people are like, okay, how did your 5 artists do?
Just do what. Yeah.
And it's like, if they did bad, like, yeah, they may be on the chopping block. But if like they just did okay, you know, and they have great, where the boss really like Elliot really likes them, like that's their, you know, like they can kind of skate by. And that's the thing, when you sign to a label, you have to get the right people. Because it's almost like kind of like we were talking about 2K. It's like when you're drafting, right? And you're doing like every team. Like you could be like, okay, I want like the guard from like, you know, the Kings.
Yeah.
Like I want the forward from the Rockets or whatever. Like
I want Wemby.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You have to go into the label and talk to everybody. And if you want to sign to that label, it's a good deal. You have to be like, okay, when I have my couple conversations, I really fuck with this person because they sound like they know what they're doing with TikTok.
Straight
and
up.
I need, but like, or like this person is like, has really fire. It was good with like marketing, like music videos. I want them. And artists don't realize they have that possibility. A lot of them just get thrown into like, I saw it a lot where like an artist would get signed and it'd be like, we'd get an email about like who's doing their marketing, who's their A&R, who's their like PR person, like. And a lot of times they weren't choosing that. But you have the power when you come in at the label system to be like, I want this marketing person because they worked on Pink Panthers.
Exactly.
That's like, bro, that's what I saw. So that's like what happened with Pink, because she's on the same label as Charlie XCX. So Pink Panthers put out like Illegal and like Tonight and all those dance records. And what happened was like the team was like, yo, we want to work with Charlie's people. Because she did so fire with Brat, and Pink has this album coming up that's like very similar to Brat. So like we want those. Pink and her team were like, we want those people.
Yeah, I mean,
we
it
want
makes
those
sense.
Charlie people.
Pink should be. Like,
she has that power. You know what I mean?
She should. I mean, when they do the MTV Awards, I mean, her music streaming just as good as Charlie XCX's.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but Charlie XCX did the VMA Awards.
Yeah, same with Amine. Just put out like 13 Months of Summer, which is very similar to like Brat and like Pink's album. So they're like. It's all like a cohesion. That's how you get wins at a label. Okay. Is you're like, we're doing pop dance or rap dance better than anybody right now. Because think about it, they are Charlie, Pink, Amine. Like, there's like 300 does like what you would call like street rap better than anybody. Atlanta rap better than anybody. Okay. So like Gunna,
they do.
Thug, Megan, who's from Houston.
What's
like,
call it? Lil Baby.
Yeah, Lil Baby is Motown. So
he's Motown now.
So Motown, I'm trying to remember. But Motown's like Yachty, Baby, so more melodic stuff. But that's like a lot of what happens with these labels. So again, you have to think about it too, where it's like Atlantic used to be a rap label. Because like used to be
it's so sad that you're saying that, like it used to be.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like they had like Uzi, they had Cardi, they had like early Jack Harlow, they had like A Boogie, they had like, dude, they were just so in the like 2016 2018 they were on a run. Even like 2015 2018 they had just a run. And then what happened was it dried up because a lot of Cardi clones, Uzi clones came up, and you have all these people who are rap executives who only know how to work with artists like Uzi, but now like Playboy Cardi's coming in. You're like, I don't know what the opium. I don't know what the fuck that is. You know what
like, and they don't even want to understand it for real. Like,
but they're throwing a deal at you to be like, well, we're like a big rap label, so we're gonna throw 100,000. Or now, like I would say, average label deal now is $1 million. So if they're trying to give you less than $1 million, like as an artist, like that should be a sign that they don't value you.
A red flag.
I'm just saying, and like another thing too is what I learned from talking to artists and like successful managers was like, if you walk into the label meeting and you don't see the head of the label, like you don't see like the person, you don't see Elliot, you don't see like Sylvia, they do not give a fuck about you. It's literally, it's just somebody, it's just a passionate A&R, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna get thrown up the ladder to like Elliot, and he's gonna be like, yeah, if you believe in it, go for it.
Could you talk about a little bit more too? Not sorry to cut you off.
No,
you're giving such good information.
Yeah.
Could you talk about more about how these labels are signing people as tax writer? Because I think that feeds right into.
I don't know as much about that, but I think the business perspective of it is like, yo, like. We're a business, we're an entertainment business, so we have to pay, $10 million, like how Jeff Bezos dodges taxes through Amazon being in the red, right? Like they're just like, we'll put ourselves in the red through taxes, I would think. I'm not like an expert. I'm not an expert on like business finance, but I would think that would be the reasoning where it's like, okay, like we spent more on marketing this year, so let's like spend more for tax purposes. I wish I knew more. I'd have to ask somebody and get like an insider and like response on that, but I actually don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to ask I want to open it up for some questions for you
Yeah, for
too.
sure.
Chat, if you have questions, I know Wiki, you just asked this question.
How do I get involved with labels?
Yes, and also I'm gonna pass the mic to Kari because I know.
Yeah,
Kari,
for sure.
you have
Yeah,
any
I've been trying not
questions?
to, yeah.
Yeah, I'll let them speak on that.
How I got involved with labels?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I was at Sony, like it was my first job out of college. I just like worked in the industry. And then I got fired. I was looking for a job, and then I got hired to do sync at Atlantic. So I didn't want to do sync, but I needed a job, and I was like, this is a major label. Like I was thinking about it. I was like, if anything, I'm gonna get a cool experience, bro. I used to get to go to shows every night for free. So like everybody at the label, they get to go for free shows, like free arena shows, bro. Every time, think about Beyonce's label, bro. Think about there's 100 people that work at that label. Each Beyonce ticket is probably $800,000, or not in each ticket, but each ticket's probably $600. The label has to pay them like damn near themselves, or like Live Nation or whatever, like $500. It's called a ticket buy. So they like do a like $100,000 ticket buy, and like they send everybody to the Beyonce concert. So I was like, if anything, I'm gonna like have a cool experience. And it was, bro. I learned like it's what I credit like my knowledge to. Was like the conversation, not like working in my job because it's very separate from like the marketing, the A&R, the PR, but just talking to people like Lolly, talking to Figs, like my guys, Alex, Diego at Atlantic, like Warner Records, which is a completely different label, but it's still under the umbrella of Warner, like still my good friends like CJ, like.
So they asked if you just applied. You just applied.
Nah, I don't think you can get I don't think you can get a job period today by just applying. Like, I don't even think that's possible. I think it was more my relationship because when I was in school, my head of my music program, I was having trouble getting my first job out of college. And I was like, hey, do you know of anything? She was like, this woman who like works at Sony, like needs a like temp. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, that's fine. And that's how a lot of people get the jobs. Like, I used to ask people, like, how'd you get into it? Like, my mentor, Lolly, was Leor Cohen's first assistant. Which is like, he was like, he started like 300, bro. Yeah, he was everybody, like, sunned out everybody. But like, she just like, she applied to an ad, but that was kind of the exception more like, rather than the rule where a lot of people just like, it was like my cousin was like, you know, a lawyer, entertainment lawyer, and like his friend recommended me for an internship. So I applied to a bunch of labels. I think now, like, I could, because I have so they'll see my like they'll auto scan my resume and they'll be like, okay, he worked at Atlantic Records, like let's give him a minute. That's like I have a easier time getting interviews now, but yeah, you just gotta talk to people, bro.
Do you still want to work in?
Is it?
Label, or do you want to do independent stuff?
I think like you can only go so far in the label system if you're not like running shit. If you don't have like your own roster of artists where you're like, these are my artists, where it's like you're just playing a role of like, damn, I'm just like the marketing assistant, so I just push paper all day. Where it's like that was my thing, where it was like I wanted to like do more, and I knew I had the power to, because I was like, I have good taste. Like the artist that like I was telling Lon Ray about, who's the head of A&R, like I saw her break like slowly. She had a hit song like a couple months later, and I was like, okay, so I was right. So I was like, okay, so I was right, and I was like, okay, cool. So like, my bills would be tough, but I was like, man, I could make a couple $1,000 as like, you know, helping people put out albums. If we put out a 10-song album and one song gets 1 million streams, like that's $1,000 a month. You know what I mean? If I get 15% of that. But yeah, so worked at Atlantic for 2 years, and then I just decided like I wasn't going anywhere. I asked for a promotion and they were like, nah. I was like, okay. Like I put in 2 years. I couldn't get anywhere. I had a lot of people who really respected me, but they're like, but they're like, but the thing was, I wasn't the guy there, and they didn't need that though. Like it didn't apply to what they were looking for, and they just fired 200 people in layoffs when they brought in Elliot and his team. So I was like, okay, like I see what they're doing. Like all the people who are rich and having high positions are just getting higher, and the gap between the middle class of like the people who started here and this is their first job, like kind of fell to the wayside. I saw like 7-year assistants, people who had been assistants for 7 years. And I was like, so that's what I had to look forward to. I was like, okay, what if I just go out and prove myself and prove I can do this shit without them? Because there were a lot of people at the label who worked there for 30 years who, if they got, and I saw it, they got fired, and they're like, everything I had was tied up to the label. Every artist, every contact at Pandora, Apple Music was tied up to the label. So now I can't really go anywhere because it's like, bro, like I don't provide the same value. You know, it's like when you have a homie and you guys kind of fall out and all your friends, the friends that you guys have together don't fuck with you. That's kind of how you think about it, where it's like, yeah, like I worked there, I gave that company 25 years of my life and they fired me. This was like my retirement plan. And I was like, okay, so there's people who were putting in the years who aren't going anywhere. There's people who put in the years and got clipped. I was like, damn, like I just want to have the freedom to be like, you know what? I want to work with an artist in the UK. Right. And I want to like make that my main priority. Like I don't like, yeah. So that was kind of a long-winded answer, but
you gave everything.
Yeah, like I just thought I was kind of done, bro. I was done playing the corporate game because it's a lot of corporate politics too.
Straight up. I mean,
yeah.
Speaking of corporate,
congrats. The rat race, bro.
Oh my God,
I know how it goes.
Tell me about it.
I want to say Wiki is asking for a rec. He asking for a rec.
Oh, you need a rec?
He needs a rec. He's at UConn right now.
He's graduated.
Yeah. Nah, bro. I got you. Let me know where you're trying to go.
Tap in with him.
Give him a
yeah, nah. Let me, bro. Yeah, DM me and let me know where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, because I know people at mostly every label more or less. So if there's a spot for you and it makes sense and you can kind of prove that you got a little bit of sauce, like make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Nah, facts.
Exactly. Wait, you said what's his IG? Look, I'm actually gonna pull up his IG back.
Yeah.
Right now. Wait, you keep going. They can't hear you though. They can hear you.
Yeah. So it's my IG Shocko Sean SHOCKOSEAN. Yeah, just send me a DM if you have any questions too. I can answer like specific stuff you guys have.
Make sure you guys give him a follow, okay?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I had a lot of people take care of me, so I can only pass that shit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's relationships at the end of the day. Yeah. Good job asking Wiki. I think do your shit. Show him what you got. Show him where you trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
My question came back around to the whole thing about artists and the power that we have when we get invited to a label meeting, right? Specifically the idea of choosing your own team at a label. Like, how would you go about doing that? I know the only story I really know of is I read 50 Cent. He did a book with Robert Greene on the 48 Laws. They called it the 50th Law of Power. And he talked about how when he first got signed, he got shelved.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see the vision, right? And what he did was he formed relationships with everybody at the label, and then he started his own side thing where he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put out mixtapes. And then once they came back to him, he was like, yeah, actually I only want these people. But that's the only instance I've heard of it, but not so much of a new artist coming in and have him, going about the process of necessarily learning everybody that's at these different spaces. So I'm just wondering, from your perspective, what would you say is like a way to go about that when you don't necessarily have the relationships?
You haven't spent the time. Yeah. I mean, Pharrell was also like that too. I don't know if you watched his Lego documentary, but he was saying like he used to call labels to try to like get a meeting, and he would get the intern at this one label he called, and they would just like chop it up, and he would be like, yo, what do you like, intern who's sitting around doing nothing like at the label, like what do you think about music? That guy became his manager. And is still his manager to this day. Wow. I forget what label it was. I have a terrible memory, but so I'll say this too. You also need to think about it as like the way that you can also go to the label, and when you guys are having the meeting and they're like, okay, well, this is Bob who does marketing and he's worked with Thug or Gunna, or he's worked with Pink Panther. It's like, and this is Susie who like works on Fly on a Boss or works on Raven Lene, and it's like our alternative. So you got to kind of like be like, what do we like around the room? Like, what do we do? Like, what do we work on? Like, what other artists have you guys had success with? When it's like, because, the A&R will bring you in and be like, yo, like, we're the best at
they're supposed to sell
music.
it.
Yeah, but it's like, tell me, like, what you guys have done, recent wins you guys have had. Another thing is, too, is, like, you could bring somebody in. You could be like, well, I'll sign with you on the condition that this person is, like, my marketing person, and you guys work with him, because I already got a team around me. Right. So that's a lot. I've seen that a lot of successful artists do that, where they bring in their like A&R. So then when our marketing team needs the music to help you promote it, we like talking to your best friend or your like producer who like does your marketing or like is like your like videographer. Yeah. And that's like a lot of the thing I saw a lot of times I saw at the label, like artists would just have their best friend shoot all their content.
Yeah.
So that became their content person at the label.
Right.
So they would sign the deal, and then this person would get paid by the label.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're like feeding your friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where you're like, this is my go-to person. Yeah, you're like, this is like my go-to person.
I've always liked that route more.
Yeah, you have
like,
all the power, bro. You got to think about it as
Yeah.
like they're bringing you in because they think that you can make them money.
Right.
But it's like I could just continue
it's like-
making myself money. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I
That's
could
what I've
just-
always thought of it
Yeah.
as, or at least when I started to really dig into the purpose of a label, I realized
Yeah.
like, what are they doing for me that I couldn't do for myself? And I think a lot of artists don't quite know it because it's similar to like getting onto a trend, right? You're like, why do I like these new pants, or why do I like denim tears? Is it really because I like that design, or is it because everybody says that that's what you need to wear right now? Right? Is it what is it the embroidery? Is it like certain people know that, and so they can go anywhere. They could go to a thrift shop and find something that's just as good and make that popular. But with the label thing, it seems like a lot of artists are just doing it to or want it and crave it just because it's a thing, and then once you get into the position, you don't really know the game that you're playing with them of, you know, providing value from both sides. Like, are they really gonna give me what I need?
Yeah, it's like a validation thing, I think, for a lot of artists, where it's like,
validation
this is the
thing.
validation I needed, that I am on the right path. I've actually seen, I'll tell you this too, so like there was another woman I knew at Atlantic, and she had a couple artists, I'm not gonna say her name, but she had a couple artists be like, I don't want her to product manage me anymore. So the product manager basically like is like helping you with transportation. They're like setting up all your, like not setting up your sessions, but they like talk to the A&Rs and like, okay, the album is coming this time, like they're gonna pop out and do this show. Like they're kind of like, they kind of are like the everyman, like, you know, like they kind of like do everything. So there was a woman at Atlantic who was a project manager. She got kicked off a couple different artist project because they didn't like the way she worked.
Yeah.
And that's that. I don't think a lot of artists know they could do
They
that.
can do that,
Like, cause
yeah.
it's like you get hired. Yeah, you could literally be like, yo, this person who's like my publicist, I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with them. Like they make me. They put me.
Where
in
would you say the limit? Sorry
No,
to
no,
interrupt,
you're
but
good,
where
man.
would you say the limitations of an artist's power is when you, like?
I mean, you're
I don't
the
know how
talent.
big those artists were,
They're-
but does that? I'm sure the hierarchy of like where you sit. If you're not a person who the label exec came to your meeting, it's not as easy for you to ask for people to switch in and out, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is because you're the talent, so you have all the power. Like you know,
Okay.
like you may be in this deal where it's like, damn, I gotta lock in for 3 albums before we can like re-up this deal or I can get out of it. But it's like, I'm not fucking with this like A&R who's telling me that like I need to make more like R&B shit when I do rap. Like for Doechii, where it's like Doechii was putting out like those R&B songs. It's like, imagine she had a person on her team that's like, nah, you got to keep making R&B. You got to keep making R&B. But she's like, nah, I want to rap. You know, and it's like you got to have a strong enough sense of self where it's like, yeah, I may not be you call the fucking executive of the label and be like, I know I'm not the biggest artist on this roster, but I know what's best for me. And I need to fucking figure this out because this person is not setting me up for success.
Yeah.
And it's like I would think any like self-respecting person would be like, all right, bet, I hear you.
Type shit.
And yeah, like that's the thing is they'd be like, all right, bet, I hear you. So like, who do you want? We have this person who works with like, you know, whoever, like our biggest like Afrobeats artist. We have this person who works with our biggest rapper. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that. A lot of artists don't do that. I've seen a lot of,
Yeah.
and I'd have conversations with artists where I'm like, what do you think of your A&R? And they'd be like, we have meetings every 3 months. They ask me how I'm doing. They like give me bullshit notes and we keep it
Yeah.
pushing. I'm like, you know, you could like fire them, right? Yeah, like you, because they won't be fired from the label. I mean, if it happens to them for enough artists, they may have an issue, but like, yeah. And going into a meeting, I think it's important to be like really clear about like your direction, because it's like I think I always saw artists come in kind of like sheepishly be like, well, like, you know, like we're like, yeah, we got this one single that's doing really well and here's some new music, but it's like, damn, like what do you guys think? You know what I mean? It's fine, but like think about like Bobby Shmurda on the table, where it's like he's like, you know what, this is my shit, and I'm gonna get hyped to it. And if you guys like it, you don't.
Documentary where he played that shit for every single person in the Rockefeller building. Yeah, and everybody was just like, all right, cool, yeah,
exactly. I don't remember he did sign with Rockefeller, right, dude?
Yeah, he was. I think at that point he might have still just been a producer when they had that footage from the documentary.
Yeah, but imagine they signed him and they're like, this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like imagine they did sign him at that time and they were like, this fucking guy.
But he was like, I'm gonna take up space. Like, I'm gonna take up space. But like speaking of the corporate, I have a few more questions coming from what we're talking about. I'm trying not to forget them, but I just want to say, as my own opinion, like from the corporate route, because I work corporate. I work on the movie side though, and I work at an agency that represents a movie studio, and we think of it as that's the client. So if they email me at 8 p.m., like we have boundaries, but we're expected to answer that shit at 8 a.m. You know, like when you're the artist that signed, you're the client. Even though they're giving you money, you got to remember you're the client and you're the person that they're banking on to be successful. So that was just a thought that like correlated from that.
Yeah, I want to tell you a story too. I'm scared to say the executive people's names, but I feel like I can say the artist though. Like there's a pop artist. I don't know if you guys know Alex Warren.
No.
Okay, so like he has a big pop record out called Ordinary, and like they're gonna know what I'm saying. So basically, like, well, his digital team, like, I'll just say this, like, he will text his digital team at like Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and be like, yo, this is moving on TikTok. And like, not even in a bad way. It's just like, yo, this is moving on TikTok. Like, let's spend some money. Let's do this. Let's do a campaign or whatever. It's like they like his client. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to respond. They have to respond. Like and like like imagine you're working with Burna Boy.
Right.
And Burna Boy hits you up. He's like, yo, I got an idea. And it's midnight or it's 3. Bro, I know Ty Dolla $ign stays in the studio till like 4 a.m. and he'll hit his team and be like, yo, I want to do this, bro. Like I have an idea, and it's
had a high idea.
It's not for real. It's like it's not a bad thing, but it's
just a part of the game.
That's like, just a part of the game. Man.
You know, pray for the label folks who are working on that.
Bro, they get a bad rap. They get a bad rap, and a lot of them. Though, they get a bad rap. A lot of them like can be kind of weird and move crazy, but a lot of them are like genuine people who just love music.
Yeah. Like, to have a job like that, that's so demanding, you have to love it, bro.
You have to, bro. I was making, bro. I'll be real. I was making like $20 an hour, which is not a lot, but bro, like in LA.
But it was where you
bro.
Leveraging.
And even that, it was just like, bro, like I'm damn near losing money because like it's barely covering my rent. And I'm like, bro, I could be getting a tech job. I could go to another corporate job and make way more money, but I just love the game. And I love the knowledge and I love the music. So it's like, bro, like a lot of people, like I'll talk to a lot of other assistants or interns, bro. They're making the minimum wage. It's like, bro, they can go work at Subway for that. They could deadass go work at Subway for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what set me away from it in a sense because I loved it. I started off working at a label that whatchamacallit, like a small label.
Yeah. Those tend to treat people better, to be honest.
They
like,
do,
yeah.
Less people in there and there's less pressure. But I can imagine the stakes of being you. I mean, you've worked for two of the biggest major. Like, the Infinity Stones
bro.
Music, like,
I got verbally abused so many times, bro.
Charge it to the game.
Yeah, nah. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. So, did we have any questions in there? I want to make sure.
Oh yeah, I saw.
The questions too, if they can hear
I saw a couple, but
Wait, what's the?
We're talking about Kanye, Mos Def's label.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you guys have questions? You guys ask questions?
Yeah, let me know. I'm happy to answer questions.
My question was, this is a good segue. Like, from your perspective, big label versus small label.
Ooh.
Pros and cons.
Ooh.
And we can just keep it general like that.
Yeah. Okay, so small label, I think it depends on what your goals are. So it's like if you're like, bro, I just want to put out music. I want to like live off my music. I want to like maintain my sanity. Like I don't want to be a superstar, but I just want to like make good music, make some money, like feed my family and like make great music. I think you're more in line for like a smaller label Because it's like, brothers, like Human Resources is a good example. Like they're very nimble. They're like even just more distribution, but they give label services. So they give budgets for videos. And like Lancey, one of the biggest artists out of the UK, Natanya is like really fire R&B underground artist in the UK. Like, yeah, I think like smaller labels, I just think you're going to get more care and you're going to get more support. I think bigger labels, you're going to get the budget. You're going to be able to have that dream video. You're going to be able to like, you know, go on a tour and really like touch people. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be able to really build like a crazy. And I think like it depends, because I know a lot of people at smaller labels who have like a really crazy fan base, but it's only like 1,000 people spread out across the US. It's like if you want like to, especially like if you want to do other things where it's like I want to make music for movies. I want to be in movies. I want to like, you know, I want to make brand. I'm like Ty Dolla $ign has a tequila. I think he has a tequila label for alcohol. Like, you know, E40, not with the label, but he has like a weed line. Yes. You know, like Burner too, like has a weed line. I think if you're more of like a Kanye-esque, like big picture, like I'm entrepreneurial. I want to like, yeah, like I'm entrepreneurial. I want to like really lock in and build a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to build something like where it's like I'm like worldwide, like they fuck with me, I have an impact. I think like go for the label, like be like, all right, let's do it for 2 albums, or like, you know, sometimes they may have but your contract? You have to, I think most labels you have to be okay with not owning your catalog. So it's like they will pay you forever.
Most big labels.
Yeah. Bro, I know for Atlantic, I mean, they don't really sign people. Like there's been very few instances where it's like people don't own their music.
Can you buy it back at some point?
I mean, I haven't heard of a lot of people. I think like the only famous ones are like Taylor Swift and like I think it kind of is up to the artist. I know John Bellion like bought his catalog back just because the people at Universal were like cool. I think it was under Interscope or whatever. But like a lot of times, bro, because that's where all their money comes from. That is the product. The product is your music. So you have to be okay with this. Like, man, like there's a chance if my music career fails, like I may not be able to feed my family off this. It's risk. It's like gambling. It's like you're gambling. You're like, I believe in myself so much. I know my first song or my first album is doing good. It's buzzing. It's hitting. I believe that my next one could also hit. I believe that like we can build on this momentum, because the label is only giving you like, they're like pushing the wind. Like they're giving you momentum, but they're not going to create a spark for you when you're cold, when you're missing. Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly. You can be like, damn, that sucks, bro. Damn, shit.
Talk about the hot seat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you're at risk of getting dropped, because it's like, bro, they may drop you, and then not only do they own your catalog, but it's like then they, you know, then you don't have any motion. Then you're forced to restart your career. So it's like, I think a lot of artists like Larry June, a lot of artists with Empire, where it's like they're a small startup label, they're not associated with any of the majors, they do their own thing. A lot of those artists are like, out a couple hits, I like put out albums that people like. I do my tours. I sell my merch. I like live my life. I make enough money to like survive and be happy. Yeah. Like that's like where I don't want to be. I don't want to have the major label pressure of like, if I don't have a hit, bro, I'm not gonna be able to pay my deal back. Then I'm gonna owe the label. Then I'm gonna get dropped and owe them money. Like
the more money they pump into you, the more.
Yes, bro. It's like, are you willing to bet on yourself and take that risk? And a lot of people do it, and they probably shouldn't. A lot of people,
that
it's
was
like
gonna be my next question.
Yeah, a lot of people do it and they probably shouldn't. Yeah,
for the optics.
Yeah, because it's, and I think a lot of rappers do that where it's like, bro, fuck yeah, I mean after I had the platform. Then after taxes, they gave me $1 million. I only got $500K maybe, but then I got to pay my manager 10%.
Exactly.
Then I got to pay, whatever.
10% is low too.
Yeah,
for a manager.
No, it's more like 15 to 20. But like, I got to pay my manager. Now I got to pay fucking like lawyer my family, my lawyer, like and it's like, damn, like $1 million, and I owe the label $1 million. I only got 300. And 100,000 of that now is to get paid for producers and like studio time and videos. It's like, damn, if this album doesn't hit, I'm $800,000 in the hole.
Yeah,
I'm gonna spend my life trying to pay that back.
You talk about some student debt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
1,000, bro.
And that's why a lot of people move weird and move.
Yeah,
because they're
there's
looking
shame associated with it too. Because it's like,
shame.
damn, like I thought I was gonna be it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not him. You got to sit
those.
Yeah. You gotta sit. I feel bad because it's not that dramatic, but you gotta look. Yeah, like you gotta sit in the mirror and be like, damn, bro, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, damn.
They not like us.
Yeah, bro. It takes a certain level of self-awareness to be like, this is where I belong.
Yeah, nah, bro. You like, I'm in the big
belong.
leagues. Like, I got hits. I got features. I'm moving around. I'm like, you know, Ty Dolla $ign's a great example. He's the type of artist who labels love because they can put him in the room with anybody.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do a feature. He's gonna produce for them, or he's gonna work on his album. And he's got ideas, and he's got businesses, and he's like a personality, and he's like, you know, and he's cool with everybody. It's like. Those are label artists. Those are artists where it's like, bro, this is like this is like mainstream.
You're on the track. You're on the track.
I love, bro. Ty Dolla $ign's like randomly one of my favorite artists. I love Ty Dolla $ign.
You have to be that person though. Like,
You have to just be you just have to be like Kanye. It has to be all you think about. Like, and if I see a lot of artists who get signed, it's like, I didn't even want, like, bro, K3 was like that.
K3 just was listening.
Yeah,
Wow.
and she talks open. She's signed to Atlantic. I'm not even saying anything that she hasn't said, but like in interviews, she's like, I guess I'm an artist now. And she's the rare example I've seen where somebody like just makes music for fun, like gets kind of some motion, gets some real emotion all of a sudden. And then, exactly. Then she's like, fuck, like, I guess I'm an artist. Like, there's like some people, then she's a label. I mean, like.
Yeah, now you got to decide what that means to you and, you know, pray for K3. You know,
I fuck with K3. I actually haven't met
dope.
her. Yeah, she's dope. I think her sound is kind of niche. Like, I think she's kind of so tucked into the underground. Like, I don't know if you know Bree Bands.
Yeah.
We love Bree Bands.
Yeah, so like
Bands.
Bree
She
Bands
was
is
on
sick
the
because not only she's rap, but she's also an R&B singer. She does R&B, but she's also like a hooper. So she plays. So she has multiple things.
WNBA did. Oh shit, have her at the.
Yeah, who's like that? Flaujane's like that too. Yeah, she's another example. Yeah.
All right, so can I see Flaujae, Willie Nova, my homie Willie is signed. He's signed
Okay, got
to.
you.
I don't want to put all this information and stuff like that out there.
Yeah, sometimes it's not announced, so I always try to be careful. But
I'm gonna be cool on it. But he is, and he's a part of the same label as Flaujae, and repeatedly they've tried to get them to work together, do songs. Sometimes it always isn't the best thing for everybody. Everybody, that's the thing. Every artist, and that's where you say labels like artists like Ty, because every artist has their own vision of who they are in their head and who they will and won't work with. Ty is like whoever here can get it, and now you know, labels appreciate that because you're flexible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ty got a probably eight figure
still,
deal.
ain't she?
Yeah, Ty's probably off an 8-figure deal right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure.
He's that type of dude. I mean, because you can imagine he's also probably writing for people at the same time.
Yeah,
stuff
he's
we
like,
don't even see his name on.
Yeah.
Like, background, like all that shit.
Yeah, and his albums do like pretty well. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, it was funny when I was there. His last album, was it an album? I think it was just he had a single and was preparing to drop an album, and the single they put a lot of money into it, and it didn't do well. And it was it was Motion. It was this dance record. Yeah, I love that record, but they had higher hopes for that record at the label, and they were basically like, let's give him more time. So interestingly, because I don't think he dropped an album while I was there, but he's about to drop one now. Yeah. So
he went through a lot of stuff with Kanye.
Yeah. So that was before that. So like,
were you on the label when that was happening?
Mm-hmm. That was interesting.
Vultures
Yeah, that was.
Vultures?
Yeah, I was there for Vultures.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
they shouted. So there was a guy who worked at the label named Busy, who was like Ty's person before he left to go to I think he's at Capitol now. And the first song, I think it's Vultures 2. He got a shout out like in the first bar, and he was this like literally like office looking like white dude. Like he looked like just regular. I fuck with it. He was a very man of few words, but it was like a baddie on the couch with some bitches. That's my boy Busy or something. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, bro, that'd be my dream if I was working at the label and I got the shout out on the Kanye song.
Yeah.
Nah, he was a homie though. I have nothing but respect for him. But,
Yeah, Ty's great.
Yeah, Ty. And then when Vultures came out, it was I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know like what. Yeah, we didn't own. So Kanye owned that record. Okay. So we had like 50% on the master, I guess, but we didn't like. It was all him. So they put it out, or he put it out. I don't even know if he's. I think he has his own company.
I don't know how he's releasing records now. Like literally, they just say he released.
Yeah.
Two. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think he's out of his Rock Nation deal for the most part, I think, right? I mean, I think they own his catalog, so I think they own, like, all of his albums.
Yeah, that's probably why he separated the Ye and the Kanye.
Yeah.
He just put out Bully. I don't know if you saw. He put out only three songs, though. I've been running Preacher Man on repeat. That's just
He's
but
cool.
he put it out, and when he does it on Spotify, he puts Ye and Kanye
Yeah, it's
West.
a symbol,
so
right?
I think I think he might be splitting, similar to what Prince did back in the day. You know, Gemini shit.
Yes. Speaking of Ty too, he has his own label, Easy Money, in which he signed Leon Thomas.
Oh, he signed
Yeah.
Leon Thomas.
So think about how weird that is, where it's like you have an artist on Atlantic through Warner, but they have their own label that their artist is signed to another major label. So interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy.
Too,
yeah, Leon Thomas, bro. I mean, he wasn't before SOS kind of blew up and Mutt blew up. Like, yeah, he was kind of
coasting a little.
Yeah,
bit
he was
under.
still kind of he didn't have a lot of fans.
But he
honestly.
is a Nick, you know. He got the childhood star thing going for him too.
But
so.
I actually don't think that kept him afloat in the music scene. I think he needed Mutt because I couldn't say I listened to a Leon Thomas record before.
I think the recognizability.
Yeah,
once you see him,
he kind of had the cheat code.
And
Yeah,
then you got the lore, and it's like, he came from that show. That shit.
Yeah, he kind
of. What the fuck? Wait.
The Kanye album?
No, my song with Willie just dropped. They just said your song with Willie is gas. Wait, it's
that's
out
crazy.
now. The album.
On stream.
Tabetta Santi's out. What the heck? It gotta be. You're right, because it drops Friday night.
Yeah.
So it's
9:00. Yeah.
Yeah, over here. So they got it already.
That's far.
They said, "Hey, it's midnight on the east." Y'all got the album. So hey, so shout out to Willie Noah. Shout out to Tabetta Santi. This album was worked on. You know, I watched him work on it. I'm on it. There's so many songs on there that he called me the other day to release the song because, again, like I said, he's going to some label stuff. He like, look, can you release it for me? So like, there's gonna be some more records you guys are gonna get. That's Lucy's that should have been on that project. Enjoy it, you guys. Also, I'm gonna before we get because I don't want to hold you up here all day.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah.
I want to segue and end our stream soon with Akari's video. Mystic. You guys, if you haven't already watched it, we're gonna watch it on stream right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, just I'll give us a little break from the conversation for a little bit.
Yeah, we were really.
We were down the rabbit hole, but I want to really pull this record up. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Akari, you wanna come type it in right now?
I'm a little far.
Well, we got the Bluetooth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Let's see. We're gonna get some Mystic going on. This is a record that I watched Akari make too, you guys. You know what I'm saying? When he first brought it, this song used to be stuck in my head. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So I want to enjoy that.
I'm excited to hear this.
Real quick. Fire.
Seeing visions of bigger visions, unleash my anima. No life getting any minute, some things you never know. Legends start looking like midgets, some things I can't condone. Beginners in eternal beginnings, I'm turning every stone. Yeah, sometimes it feel like it's a terror dome. Public enemy number one, I'm slitting Satan's throat. I don't really want number one, just wanna provide some hope. I just wanna plant me some seeds and leave it to the sun. Grow into the reaper cunt, reaping everything that I sow. I never sold my soul, but I could peep a lungs. I never had none old that I ain't even up. I never been so low that I can't see the luck. I don't know no road that I can see above. Head was just above sea level, but now I'm breathing love. But now I'm breathing love. I guess some niggas wasn't keeping up. Label me a missing, but arithmetic would even show. It was just statistics I was missing, but I never slow. Putting up shots in the dark, that ain't in vogue. They don't see how the fire start, they only see the smoke. They ain't never studied time marks on an empty road. They don't see the scriptures in the head, they only see the pole. I'm leaving notes. The blueprint, yeah, I'm leaving notes.
Just said Akari got such a good flow.
I guess you label me a mystic. If you don't get this, guess you could label me a mystic.
W's in the chat for Akari, you guys. W's in the chat for Akari. I need to see him. I need to see him. Kari, label him a mystic, yo. Real talk.
Cool.
You want to talk about the record a little bit?
I mean, what's the question?
How was it making this
Wait,
record
if you
for
were detained at any San Bernardino...
First of all,
San Bernardino.
I don't know, bro. I'm getting advertisement because I just was talking about my homegirl locked up. They really listening to this, like, but yo, I wanted to ask you, Kari. More cheers.
Appreciate y'all.
What was it like, even coming up with the idea to make Mystic and like
the video or the song?
Both.
Song was, I don't know. That album was Stream of Conscience. I made this album like October last year, and I was just trying to rap, so it was one of them things where I didn't think too hard. We was both locking in a lot, and it was just like whatever comes to me. I can't even find the bars on my phone. I was like, oh, I did do that all off the top of the dome. Like, it was a lot of
that Terror Dome bar was crazy. I just watched that movie. I literally just watched that movie.
It was just like, just stream of conscience. So when I had 3 people involved in the creation of this video. There's Ikechukwu Sharp, who's like a really close homie to me, and he's like been one of those dot connectors, similar to how you talk about being a dot connector, but in kind of like in a more of a visual sense, visual world, and like the museum and kind of the high art world. And so he plugged me with a director named Tevin. I'm forgetting Tevin's last name right now, but Tevin. And then a cinematographer, Kobe Listenby. And so we all got together. We've been working on different stuff. And I was just like, yo, this is Stream of Conscience. I don't know what the fuck the real point of the song is. It's just one of them where I'm rapping. And we going to figure it out. So they digested it. I just knew that the name of the song and the idea of being kind of misunderstood or having mystic themes and things like that meant that it had to look a certain way. It had to come across a certain way. And so when we first started vision boarding, it was a lot of like double exposure stuff, which you see in there with like multiple hands and things like that to get that across. And we kind of just went down that rabbit hole and just used more so image references. And we wanted just things to look close up and it to be like really in your face. So yeah, we just played around with shots, and once we got into the actual process of creating, it was like everything flowed, and it was like, all right, I'll go here and then I'll go here. But yeah, glad to have it out. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it was hard
listening to it with me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You guys, I want to get to. Do you guys have any more questions? Any more questions, bruh? Because in a minute, I'm about to go off stream and I'm gonna play Sean a couple more records before he has to.
Yeah, for sure. I wanna play a record too and get your thoughts. Actually,
absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah,
we can play some show and tell. We got some show and tell.
No, because I one of the songs from the record that I just worked on, like we just did a content piece, so I'm like I actually want to show you guys the visuals.
You want to play it on stream or?
Yeah.
It
hasn't come out. It hasn't come out yet. So
okay, we get some unreleased.
Yeah. I'm gonna text you right now.
He said, Sean, do you produce?
I do actually, and so you'll see there's an artist whose album I A&R'd and we worked on it together, and I produced track 9.
Fire.
It's out right now if you want to play it, but I do want to
we always ask on stream because my chat is always wanting to know, what do you use to produce on?
Oh, I'm a big Logic guy.
Okay, he's on Logic, you guys.
Logic guy. I mean, I used to make my own music, so
really?
Yeah, you can if you look on my ad, you'll see it, bro. I can play shit. Okay, yeah. If you want to play one of my records, it's go to the YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Is it?
All right. Nah. Just go to the YouTube search.
Okay. Let me type in.
Yeah. So I used to make like 80s R&B vibes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. It's kind of like but so that scroll down a little bit. Where is it? Right there. So this is like our So Blue.
So my goodness, we gotta see this.
So this is a record I did with like a
yeah.
So this is like a record I did with this like country artist, and I got her in like an R&B joint, and it's just like interesting. I produced the whole track. We produced it together.
Hey folks,
my boy Nate
here, coming at you with the slow jam.
It was a shot at UCLA actually.
Are you
Deneb.
serious?
Yeah, yes, Deneb. I had a shaved head at the time.
Well, you know, this is your fellow UCLA. He went to UCLA, you know what I'm saying? Yes. He said that's where he was studying music. We got the same mic. They said the sampler alone is OG.
There's no sample.
Oh, you're talking about on the
the Logic sampler?
Yeah.
Nah, I kind of fuck with it.
Yeah.
I kind of fuck with it. I love how you do vocals in Logic.
I thought you were Mr. Beast when I first opened up this.
I'm violated. Violated. So I produced this record. I'm the feature too, coming in.
Did you do the guitar on here too?
Yeah, all the drums, the bass. See us.
I love the visual too, bro. It's like classic
VHS,
80s.
yeah.
Like,
It's meant to be like Quiet Storm. If you ever like
Quiet Storm.
Yeah, it's been yeah. You'll
Is
see
that
it.
you in the video too?
Yeah, you'll see it there.
Fire, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I just do it for fun, you know.
It's like 80s school picture, like vibe. I love it. Like,
That
don't
was
you
the
take the
aesthetic.
picture like?
Yeah, I got a
like
full
the Tyler,
suit
the
on,
Creator
bro.
shit?
Yeah. Kind of a long record, man.
Ah!
Wow.
How long have you been playing guitar?
Like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Okay. I heard the hammer on and stuff like that. You got experience. Like, it's hard to do that shit.
I played a lot of jazz shit too.
Okay. Yeah, Sean. You almost like got the Sean McMahon like.
You see why I stopped making music, bro. You see why I stopped making music, bro.
This is fire though. You keep making music, dude. Don't stop. Never stop.
Yeah, this is a joint though. I'm not even mad at it. It was alright. It was. This shit was so long. I had to go.
You're trying to downplay yourself, bro. This ain't
Yeah, it was the last joint I put out. Yeah. But yeah, so that was.
bro, we need to hear this. I'm trying.
You see how I hit the? I was trying to make it seem like I was so heartbroken, bro. I hit the.
Nah,
So-
it looked like you was going Super Saiyan 3, bro. Like, yeah.
I don't know what this was, bro.
You about to smack that.
I was heartbroken, bro. I was heartbroken. So yeah,
That was only a year ago. You put
Literally,
was
bro.
it only a year, bro? It feels like it came out.
1980.
I put 1988. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I made that record. I shot at UCLA actually in the Deneb studio because I worked there actually. Yeah.
Which team was it? Because I worked at Studio 22.
Yeah, that was.
Before, but I
Yeah.
know there was another one that came around when I was leaving. I forget what it was called. It was was it just UCLA Studio?
I think so Studio 22 was before, and then someone else took it over when Seiji and them left.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I came after.
So Seiji and them was running it?
Seiji was a part of.
Yeah, they were running that studio.
They were part of the studio thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a guy who was like the tech there or whatever, and yeah.
Super homie too.
No,
Seiji's
Persia
the homie.
too. Persia's on. So I put this out on the EP that Persia's on. Persia Brandy, yeah, if you know Persia. Yeah.
That's crazy. So all you guys was connected through UCLA?
Yeah. Nah, and I put this out I made this when I was still there, and I think I put it out right when I graduated. It was like my I put like an album together and did like a label mock thing for like my senior project.
Nice.
So it was cool. I'm not like, I mean, it's cool. Like I a record just came out that I produced. So this was like, if it says a year, I think it was more like 2 years ago. But yeah, so I'll show you. There's like a British artist that like, I didn't produce this record, but
I actually have a question for you too, real quick. What was both of you guys' UCLA experience? Because chat right now, I work at UCLA. You know what I'm saying? I'm there for the summer doing some stuff. But yeah, like I'm at UCLA. I know Alec, he was at UCLA. I mean, I would spend a lot of times visiting Alec and Chantel, who came on stream a few days ago, you guys. What was you guys' experience like there? Like being a Bruin? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Want to go first?
yeah.
You were more recent.
Yeah, well, I got fucked because it was COVID.
Oh, so you really didn't get the full.
So yeah, and
when it was COVID?
I was a transfer. So
Oh, you
I
went
graduated.
2 years.
Yeah, so I graduated in 2022, and right when it was crazy, like, cause you had to interview to get into the music business program actually, and I interviewed in like January 2020.
Wow.
So I remember that was like, it was so vividly. I was like flew to LA from the Bay, was like at the airport like late January, and I remember on the TV it was like COVID-19 new virus. It was literally like new virus like popped out. Yeah, it was crazy. And me and my dad were like, what the fuck? Like, we're pandemic. Like I like, it was so crazy. And then right when I got in, like maybe a couple weeks later, like they sent me the letter like, you got in COVID. So I was living with my parents, and I was like, bro, I've been home living in my parents' crib. Yeah, but I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. So I did my remote. It was so dumb, but I wanted to leave my parents' house. So I did my remote year, like my junior remote year in LA.
That's
remote.
my junior year.
Yeah, Grambling. Yeah. So I did that, and then my only senior year was the only time I spent on campus. So crazy. So I call myself a Bruin because I graduated from there, but like I didn't really have the full.
Well, one thing we were just talking about is we still get the benefits.
Yes, you have your benefits. So I work there now, and they tell me now from.
I wanna.
You guys have.
I want to go to the courts. I played basketball there maybe
I
only
used to
like
ball there
2
all
or
the
3
time.
times.
Yeah,
it's
fire.
They got great courts.
Yeah, they have
great courts.
some of the best courts I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm down, bro. I always.
My work ID. I could be up there without
for
it.
sure. Yeah, it's the ones like at the top of the hill. They have like the nice ass courts. Yeah, I used to play there all the time.
That Sunset Village one.
That's fire.
But I think we also get access to the gym, which has the courts.
Yeah, bro. But that's the thing is the guys that pull up there, like usually like are on the team.
Yeah.
Bro, they'd be like 6'5",
It'd be crazy calm.
and I'm like,
It'd be crazy calm. Yeah, I remember going there, and I was
yeah.
But you can find the right runs if you're there at certain times. I guess. It just depends on who's on the court.
Yeah, nah, we should run it. I'll be down. I always ball.
You guys have your access. That's what my boss always tells me.
I still got my 401k. Like from
Damn.
I still got money.
I remember that. Yeah,
I still got like money tied
too.
up in
Are
the
you
UC.
serious?
I took that shit out before I understood
You spent
finance.
it?
I spent that.
I didn't even know you could
401k.
do that. I didn't even
Back in like 2020, actually, I was like, wait, I got money still?
Yeah, it's mad,
They
bro.
make you take 401k at UCLA?
Yeah. I had a 401k.
You worked on campus?
Yeah.
Oh, Studio 22 or the studio thing.
I forget what the name of the org was. I can't even remember.
Yeah,
it was so long. It
a
feels like
while.
it was long ago, but it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, talk about 6 years ago when I graduated.
Yeah, you got the golden because I heard that 29 because we were talking about USC kind of 2018, 2016 time like.
Which merges with.
I wasn't in LA at the time. You know what's funny too is Umi actually like crazy lore. She was one of the first concerts I ever went to.
Whoa.
One of the first, yeah.
Wow.
One of the first. I've told her this actually. One of the first concerts I ever went to that I spent my own money on was Umi in San Francisco.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Look what the homie Randy just sent me just now. A picture from you guys from the show from you guys. Oh, that's what
Yeah.
But I thought it was one of the with Umi.
Yeah, no, I ran into her a couple times. And I'm cool with like Mad and them. So we got like
Chad, this is from his event. On Saturday or last Saturday.
Yeah, it was a vibe. I'm mad because I didn't get in any of the pictures. I was like,
Damn.
I was like, dude, I always miss the picture, man.
Me and Yoshi, you guys.
Yoshi is cold.
Yoshi's great.
She's cold.
Yeah.
I just heard her for the first time.
Mago in the chat, yeah.
Yeah, man. I
But
mean,
yeah,
I was there
you got a vibe.
I was there during some really good years. I graduated to COVID afterwards, like a year.
You didn't?
That
Did you
year
walk?
afterwards.
You didn't walk the stage, or you did?
No,
Because it was the year before.
it was the year before. I could have walked the stage, but I'm a
Uh.
head ass, so I didn't even I didn't even get my diploma. I think
don't
my
even
parents
have my
got it
diploma
somewhere.
either, bro.
I didn't give a fuck about it, bro. To be quiet,
I never thought about it ever
It's
again.
so hard to get into UCLA, and you guys like haphazardly like treating it like that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
I kind of cheated the system, and this is kind of a pro hack for anyone who's in high school, bro, because they let you do 2 years like undeclared before you can transfer. So the music business program, which was new, was like they accepted like 80%
Wow.
of the or not 80. It was like 20% of the applicants, but they only got like a couple hundred a year. So I was like, okay, like if I put in a really good application, I'll probably get in. And it was one of the only schools I got into.
Damn.
Because I was like, bro, I just like the music program there was so small.
So you were
Yeah.
supposed to be there.
Yeah, no, facts. I mean, bro,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been. I did a couple of things in LA randomly where I like produced and like I remember I drove up here one time in like 2019, did a session with the artist from Temecula.
Temecula.
So, bro, it was
I
wild.
wonder who it was.
Dude, I can't remember her name, but what I'm.
It was a girl.
Yeah, so I met her on IG. She was like fucking with the beats I was posting on like my IG. And she was like, yeah, like I don't have a studio to record at. And I was like, oh, bet we should just do sessions. But I lived in the Bay. So 2019, I drove up here. I stayed with my friend in Glendale. I had no relative understanding of how big LA was.
Yeah.
So the sessions were in I want to say not Chino. What's the other place?
Chino's out the way.
No, what's the other place?
Next to Glendale.
No. It's like near Calabasas.
Oh, Sherman Oaks.
No, Sherman Oaks is under.
What was
it.
it? It's where that like movie where the caveman is. It's not Topanga. Remember, there's a LA movie where the dude wakes up and it's a caveman, and he's like in high school with him. It doesn't matter. But so like it was like in Calabasas area. I was staying in Glendale.
Yeah.
The girl was getting her cosmetology license, so she didn't have her car. So I had to drive from Glendale to Temecula to Calabasas.
Oh,
we did like
Woodland Hills.
yeah.
Woodland Hills.
No, it wasn't Woodland Hills.
Woodland
it was,
Hills is closer to Sherman.
Fuck,
Oaks.
I can't. But it was like Woodland Hills area. But yeah, so we did 3 days of sessions. And literally-
Tarzania?
No, it wasn't
Tarzan?
Tarzan. It was good.
We gonna have to pull up the car chat.
No. But yeah,
Northridge. Yeah, no.
We getting all the
Just naming
all the valley places. Yeah, it's in the valley as fuck.
bro, I can't remember. It starts with a CH. It's like around.
Oh, Cheddar. I mean,
Yeah.
Chats. What is
Nah,
it
you
called?
almost had it.
It's
Not Chatsworth. No, it was.
yeah, Chatsworth.
It wasn't
is a
Calabasas.
city.
Where was it? It was near Tarzana.
I know. Mago would know. He out there and shit.
Yeah,
Bro,
he
it's
over
just-
there.
It's I know what you talking about though.
Encino, bro. I don't know where the CH came from. I don't know where the CH came from.
Okay.
So yeah, so I
Okay,
was
type
crashing
shit.
with my boy and this is just because I had I couldn't get any beats. So I was like, fuck it, this girl's the only thing I got.
Yeah.
So this is like partly why I stopped producing as much because I had trouble like getting set. Like I was doing sessions every day, but nothing was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to Glendale to Temecula. The girl didn't have a car, so I drive her to the session we had in
Shit.
Encino. Then I drive her back to Temecula. Then I go crash for a couple hours in Glendale. Bro, that's how serious I was about it at the time.
Yeah.
You can't say I didn't put my hours in.
You was out
Like,
here, you was putting in the work.
Yeah.
but what happened? Yeah, so we did like 3 days of sessions, and like at the end of it, she was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I really want to be an artist." And I was like, I spent like 3 days. Like I was maybe off like
Damn.
I was off like 2 hours of sleep, and I was like, okay, the next time I come to LA, I has to be because I live here or because I got business here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can't be
I was
wasting your time.
so I was finishing.
Yes, like,
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, and the music thing felt so far away. It's crazy now because I ended up at like working at a major record label, but at the
Yeah.
time I was like, damn, bro, I'm like making these beats that no one likes. Like I'm making like, no one's fucking with it. I'm in community college. I got no bread. I was working a job at like a radio station, but I was like at the desk. I wasn't doing shit. And I was like, the next time I go to LA, I want it to be because I live there. And so what happened was I was like, I applied to go to UCLA because I was like, that's my way in. Like that's my way to like have a reason to live there, get into the industry. And I got in, and then after I graduated, I like got in the mix, and then got that job at Sony. Then I got that job at Atlantic, and now, bro, like breaking artists in the UK. Now, I really want you to hear that record that I just texted you. Yeah,
Oh, you texted it to me.
yeah. So the artist from the UK, her name is 9 Days, and she has this project called African Girls Do Cry. It's about like, you know, growing up as like a British Nigerian woman and like not really fitting in.
Full video.
Yeah, so it's a content piece that we shot, and I want people to check out the album and let me know what we think. But she played me this record when we met last September in London and was like, this is like what I'm working on, and I was like, this is one of the best songs I've ever heard.
Okay, well, chat, look, this is what we need you to do. We want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Give us feedback in the comments. For real, we need that. We're about to play this
I didn't
record.
produce this, but there's a record on our album I produced, which is track 9. But
Okay. We're about to check it out right now. Let us know, chat. Wait, did I pass it?
Yeah, right there.
It's
Sorry,
already
1080. It's fine. So this is London right here.
This is in UK.
This is her right here.
I like it already. The shot is dope.
It's like a drone.
I might as well have shot the full video.
We're just coming.
Okay. She's gonna blow.
They say African girl, you got to just wipe your tears. Yup, you gotta be a soldier. You cannot cry again. Oh no, yeah. Walking into school like I was happy, but I felt so alone. My mother didn't go, but my father was at home. My father picked me up when I opened up the door. My mother wasn't home. My mother was in Niger. I couldn't find her. Auntie was at work and my uncle didn't bother. I went to my father, asked him for it.
He didn't watch Lonzo play, bro. He wasn't going to the games, Jet.
Said I was a soldier, but he made the daughter.
How did you find her?
Just like Spotify playlist. Yeah. She has less than 4,000 followers. Like she's
serious?
The album is incredible. Like
She sounds great, bro. Like,
My auntie asked me what's the issue. She gave me a tissue, said I should wipe my tears. You don't have issues, you're a little girl, and you should stay at home and read some of your books and play games on the phone. You're an African soldier. Cause you're an African soldier. I don't wanna be a soldier.
this could come out how it is. And
no, it is. Yeah, I think it's coming out tomorrow or
you
Monday.
serious?
I think it's coming out tomorrow or Monday.
perfect rollout. Perfect
Yeah, no.
rollout. Nah, facts. Chat, what we think?
Yeah.
I'm not an African soldier.
Jet mad at you. He said, how you went to UCLA that whole time while Lonzo was there and didn't go to one game, bro? Literally, bro.
That is
Like,
crazy.
Kari we started watching the games crazier when, like, 2022? Like, just watching, getting crazy with the basketball game? Yeah.
I was tapped out for a little bit.
Yeah, I went to one game to be honest.
You guys are tripping, bro. You guys go to one of the D1 schools.
Yeah.
I saw one of our perks is that we get games free. Like, we
Yeah,
get
it's like a-
games free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get like a couple a season. I can't remember. We still do, I think. After
We still do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
We got to pull up to see somebody.
I went to
Also,
I went to the Rose Bowl one year, but it was like,
They-
You go to the big game?
yeah.
Yeah.
they told me, you guys, that the girl that won bronze in Paris goes to UCLA right now and
I'm
does
sure.
gymnastics.
I'm sure.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
forget her name, but like they were telling me today at
I'm sure.
like we need to start pulling up over there, seeing some
Yeah,
stuff.
nah,
bro.
I've been trying to catch.
Sunny, right?
Son, yeah.
Yeah, we should go to a game because it's
I'm with
about to
that.
start in the fall. So I mean,
Hey, let's do it. Hey, dead ass. You gotta use it. I want you guys to use your privilege that you have
You're right,
there,
you're
bro,
right,
because
you're
it's
right.
just
We've been
sitting.
We've
Like,
been liking.
dead ass. But back to this record though.
Yeah.
We love this record. Chat, look, let me give it a cheer. You guys, I want to know what you guys think. What you guys think in the comments, bro. Let us know. Please let us know, chat. Hold on, we got the.
Yeah, that's the UK right there.
That's UK.
I saw the UK's coming. I don't know anybody in the US who's coming like that, to be honest.
You said I don't know anybody that's coming like that to be. There is one person.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Who
play
did she
some.
remind you of?
I'm gonna play you some people off stream.
Oh yeah, for
that
sure.
Who I'm really
you're right. We should
messing with.
Yeah.
But yes, she doesn't really remind me of too much of anybody. Although she does give me like she comes from the lineage of like if you want to Thames.
Yeah. She
gave me some Thames, some Thames energy,
that's
but she's not Thames though.
That's a Nigeria's British.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said Liv.
Oh, I fuck with Liv actually. You know what's funny is I followed Liv mad early. I think that's how you
on
say
stream,
her name. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name is Liv.
Liv.
Yeah. So I followed her like 6 months ago. She had like some cool early records.
I'm gonna play you a lot of stuff from her. Like,
Shit. Okay, cool.
That's not early though.
Was it? Am I thinking about someone else? Oh, there's a girl named Earth to Live.
Earth to Live.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who's
okay.
Oh, okay. Got you. My bad. No. I know who Liv is. My bad. I was confused.
But yo, I'm fucking with this record. Okay, so you said it drops tomorrow.
So it's out, but this content piece is coming out tomorrow. It's like
Okay.
a visual, but yeah. So that was like who they were thinking about like signing potentially at Atlanta. Like it just didn't really work out, but yeah. So we could work together, bro. That song is at like 50,000 streams right now on Spotify. Yeah, it's only been out like 3 weeks. Yeah. And she has another record called Morocco.
You got one.
Yeah, now she had that
You
one,
got
and then
one.
there's a song called Puzzle that like 70,000 only came out a couple weeks earlier.
Okay, is it a visual for it?
Nah, that's the thing is it's the only one that has a visual. But if you want to play the one that I co-produced, actually,
wanna play the one you co-produced.
it's called Talk Rap.
You want to type it in?
Yeah. So it's another joint off her project that I actually produced. That's like one of my most recent ones. 9 days. So yeah, it just came out like on Juneteenth actually.
This plugin definitely made me realize.
Yes, this is a good one.
My algorithm always is.
1, 2, 3.
Kind of like an interlude vibe.
Said play them all.
Nigga didn't know how to fuck. You didn't know how to love. Mom and daddy left you with the corner with nothing much. Your community dick, you ain't full of shit.
She got like a little scissor vibe too, like.
Yes, your ego too big, yeah, your ego too big. That's why I left so quick. He was fucking Keisha, Becky, Monica, Exa, Sesame with Elijah. I don't talk
Got a
too
weird
much,
rhythm
I
to
don't
it too.
talk
It's like,
too
but it's in
much.
pocket for this style of music though.
Your community dick, you ain't full of shit. You ain't
Say he
full
for sure
of
put me
shit.
on.
That's why I
my
got
girl.
it
This is my girl.
quits. That's why I got it quits. You could have shown me the booklet and show me the contents.
So why this song about me? Wiki is hilarious, bro. Wiki is a comedian.
Nah, but she wants this about her ex. Okay.
Why this song about me? Wiki.
Nah, I get it, bro. I'm outside too. I see it.
The mask is now unveiling. The red pill is fucking up your psyche. You keep hiding, so keep hiding and keep running.
This is gas.
You ain't loving me, and I can see that clearly.
Wait, what's this?
You was fucking Keisha, Becky, Monica, Esther, sexting with Elijah. I don't talk too much, I don't talk too much.
She's so cold, bro.
She's
She
sick.
said you was fucking Monica, Becky,
named them. She
Keisha,
named
and
names.
Elijah.
Like,
and
wait,
Elijah.
Wait a minute.
yeah,
I paused it. I was like, I hope that's a
no,
girl.
No,
That name not unisex, is it? Like,
No, it's kind of like that Doechii record that what's that one that she dropped?
the current that she was fucking on. He was fucking that dude.
yeah,
That one.
Nah, yeah, she's cold as shit.
Dope.
Yeah,
Okay.
her album just came out last week. If you guys want to check it out, it's called African Girls
Mm-hmm.
Do Cry. I was the only track on the album I co-produced, but some of my newer work, you guys heard me in my infancy, like the fucking song I put out. But yeah, this one I'm really proud of. The
It's
album
hard
is
as
good.
shit.
There's a record last year called Morocco that's in a lot of people's playlists. That's like very like jazzy, so she's very soulful.
Okay. And you said
Um,
you found her on Spotify.
Yeah, I found her on Spotify. We like chatted up. I was telling you like Lon Ray at Atlantic was like, oh, this is cool. Da, da, da. I played her that first record,
Mhm.
like the African Girls Do Cry one. And yeah, like she was already developed. Like she was already like, bro, she was putting songs out on Spotify through DistroKid, and like one of her records hit 1 million streams. But before that, I heard one of her first records.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, it's just like she's talking shit. She's like got this cool like jazzy R&B vibe. Like she's like got this bohemian aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this reminds me of stuff, but it's fresh.
It is
Everybody
fresh.
I play it for, it's like, oh, it's fresh. Like
Nah,
I haven't
it
heard
is.
music like this is like.
I'm gonna subscribe to her.
Yeah, man, please. Yeah, like we're trying to grow her pages right now,
Absolutely.
but she streams incredible. Bro, she could live off her streaming, honestly.
Yeah.
Like she already makes a good amount of money just off streams. Like
Okay.
just because the music is, she gets picked up on the algorithm.
Well, when you have her on, come to the
Yeah, she'll be
States.
here in August. Yeah,
Tell her
oh,
pull
yeah,
up and
yeah,
we'll stream with her.
That would be sick.
We'll
yeah.
stream with her. We'll have her on
Yeah,
stream and cover
she's
her.
fire, bro.
Bet.
I'm excited. Anybody in LA too, we'll do like a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, too, anybody that you've been working with is welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I got a lot of people I'll have come by, especially people from out of town and the UK.
you heard
Get
that,
you
chat?
tapped in.
Look.
Everybody loves the UK when I bring them through. So they're all fun and chill, and they make great music.
Okay. So, I ain't know one female named Elijah.
Nah, that was her dude. Her dude was going both ways. I mean, it happens. It happens. You know.
Well, look, I'm not gonna hold us up
Yeah.
any more longer, you guys. We've been with you for a minute. We're gonna get into some stuff off stream, you guys. Why the UK more innovative than?
That's
than
what
the
I'm
US?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's
we'll
my
talk
argument.
about it.
That's my argument. We gotta
We're
come
gonna bring
back.
it. We're gonna bring
gotta-
some artists in, and we're gonna talk about it with some UK
Yeah,
artists. How about that?
We'll run it back.
We definitely
because
running
I want to
it back.
hear some of the music that they're like talking about that they want to play for me that I want to hear. So
Yeah, bro. Let's do it. The
facts.
Burkle Brackles and the Burkle Brackle and beans,
Yeah.
beans and toast.
that blood, brother, that's thing called blood pudding. That's like
Blood pudding is crazy, bro.
whale fucking.
He gonna give you the exposure. But yo, chat, we will chop it up with you guys tomorrow. We have another guest tomorrow, so please chop in. It's actually a guest I met at your event.
Oh, hell
So
yeah,
like, we're gonna be back here again tomorrow, you guys. Thank you guys for supporting us, and I want to thank you again, Sean, for even coming through.
Thank you, bro.
And
Appreciate
showing
it.
love
It's
to the
fun.
stream, you know, real talk. We really, you know what I'm saying? You was a real one, bro. Real
Thank you,
talk.
bro. Yeah,
Mess
nah.
with you, Sean, for real. So, yeah, you guys, catch you tomorrow. Peace. W guest. They said W guest.
Yeah.